ball turnovers, Chuck. But the effort, of our guys was phenomenal offensively. Best game we've played all year offensively.
The Hogs take on LSU Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, and we'll talk more about that when we join you tomorrow on the Razorback Report.
We'll have more Razorback news tomorrow on the Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield Razorback Report. For dental and vision plans, visit ArkansasBlueCross.com or stop by an Arkansas Blue Welcome Center.
I'm Hunter Bell at Bell Chevrolet. We know the best part of being in Arkansas is the people. That's why we believe you're not just customers. You're our friends and family. We're determined to go above and beyond to help make things a little easier. And we put in the hours every day so we can take care of our families and you can take care of yours.
We are here for you, Arkansas. Come help us make it even better at Bale. Shop Bale Chevrolet and BaleChevrolet.com today. Find new roads.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores or on the Jackpocket app. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Rain chances back this week. Today, about a 30% chance of scattered showers and a high today around 80 degrees, so still quite warm. Tonight, slowed down to 57. Tomorrow, those rain chances go up to 70% and a high of 72. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
This is Pat Bradley for Brewskis, Arkansas. It's time for the 7th annual St. Patty's Day Beer Pong Championship, and it's going down Sunday, March 17th at the downtown location of Brewskis. Tourney starts at 2 p.m. All day, championship belts and year-long bragging rights up for grabs. Sign up for your 2-person team at brewskispubandgrub.com. Prizes will be given away for the best team costume. Sunday, March 17th, it's a 7th annual St. Patty's Day Beer Pong Championship. Find out more online at brewskispubandgrub.com.
For all the times you multitask, Malvern National Bank has technology to make banking easier. When you need to transfer travel money into your account while on the go. When you need to pay your friends back for lunch. When you need to check the balance on your account. When you need to locate the nearest branch or ATM. Or when you need to deposit a check and don't have time to go to the bank. Simple to use website tools and apps at your fingertips. To find out more, visit mnbbank.com.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's another remarkable success story from QC Kinetics. This one from Chad, who hurt his knee at the gym one day, and it just kept on hurting for months.
From my high school football and wrestling days, I already had a little bit of damage in there, but this just sent it over the edge.
Chad tried traditional treatments with no improvement when he turned to the non-surgical regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics.
It was really fascinating how they did their work, and the science behind it was very intriguing, and it works. Extracting the cure out of my own body blew my mind. It's like I'm brand new again. It was fantastic.
That's because the QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments use your body's own healing power to restore damaged tissue in your hips, shoulders, back, and knees, providing long-lasting relief.
Now I'm back at the gym. I'm 100% feeling great.
If you're tired of suffering with pain from arthritis or injury, call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
Live from the Hogs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
Yeah, I mean, to have an older guy in those tight situations, whether it goes good or not, it seems like the right thing to do. We'll try to keep an eye on him and get some other guys in there, but it just he didn't throw 10 pitches the other day, and he really wanted to get it back out there today. We didn't know if he was going to give us an inning, 2 innings, and he felt really good. He had a quick eighth inning for the most part, except we didn't catch a ball, and you just felt like, let's just go let him get back out there in the ninth. And, first two hitters, you got through them real quick. And then that leadoff man there's a really good player. Obviously got a hit and it got a little interesting, but it's really good to have a veteran like that eat up a lot of innings.
That's Coach Van Horn talking about Will McIntyre out of Bryant and finishing up the game for him. And final 3 innings, I believe, or 2 1/3, 2 1/3. As Arkansas sweeps, does what they're supposed to do, takes care of business, and they stay number 2 in the country. The D1 baseball rankings are out for this week, and no movement there. And Arkansas did what they were supposed to do. And I'm looking over here at all of our sound, Joe, and I just couldn't start the show with Musselman. I just couldn't start, even though they played hard, even though they had a lot of effort and scored a lot of points. I couldn't start with basketball today, man. I've moved on. I really have. And it's baseball season now for me, and NFL and high school basketball. It's just I can't. I just couldn't do it.
Well, it's the stretch run for basketball. They have a few games left, so it'll be
2.
over.
Not that I'm counting.
It'll be over soon. Is it 2 or 3?
2 regular season games, and then
3,
1 in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, 3 overall.
Maybe 2 in the SEC tournament.
3 guaranteed.
Yes.
So we know that.
There you go.
Now, once they get into the SEC tournament, that could change. But for now, they have 3 games left that we know of.
Yeah. The Kentucky game was fun. I'll say that. I enjoyed watching the game. A lot of scoring. Arkansas played well. They moved the ball. They put up a lot of points. And they had a couple of steals there, about 8 minutes left. Let me get my chart sheet out. And Davenport had a couple of threes, back-to-back threes, and they go up 84-75. They're up 9 with 8:51. Kentucky had to take another timeout. They took 2 timeouts during the second half, and Arkansas had a little something going. And honestly, it started on it sounds weird to say since they gave up 111 points, but it started on the defensive end during that run. They got a couple of turnovers, a couple of steals, and all of a sudden when Arkansas continued to score, the point total went up, and they were up 9. And I was like, man, they may go into Rupp and just – wouldn't this be Arkansas basketball at its just highest point, that you lose to Vanderbilt at home the week before, and then you go to Rupp Arena and beat Kentucky? Isn't that that's Arkansas in a nutshell right there? Arkansas sports. To be at the bottom of the bottom, lowest of all lows, then you come back and play so well. Now, of course, they didn't pull it off, but it still makes you wonder, how can a team that looked good against Kentucky look so bad against Vanderbilt?
It was the last 3 minutes of the game where Kentucky took control, and they were able to do something on the defensive end to really take control of the game and take it away from Arkansas. But it kind of goes back to that rotation. Like there were 8 players that played overall and played the majority of the minutes. Mm-hmm. Now, we didn't see a guy like Leighton Blocker, who we've seen him that he's contributed throughout the season. But then you look at the score here, the box score, and see that he didn't touch the court at all, and you have 8 players that played the majority of the minutes.
Yeah, that was a strange deal for me because the team was so bad defensively, especially down the stretch. That was the difference in the ball game. Down the stretch, Kentucky was the one who created a couple of turnovers and went down and scored every single possession. Josh and I went back on the Gwatney Chevrolet, Gwatney Buick GMC postgame show and looked, and Kentucky was converting on every single possession. And you have a close game that becomes a 9-point game because they were able to get a couple stops or a couple of turnovers, and then they scored every single time. And I'm like, defense is a premium, and they're not playing any defense. They could not stop the pick and roll for Kentucky. They were just killing Arkansas on it. At the other end, earlier in the game, Arkansas was killing Kentucky on the pick and roll. It wasn't defense optional, but it appeared that way. There were times. Look, Kentucky, fantastic offensive team. That team can go. They can score. They have so many good scorers on that team. Defensively, Joe, there were times Arkansas would just drive right past them. It was like they didn't even care. They were just the old lay defense. They'd just open up and let Arkansas drive to the basket. I'm like, this isn't an elite team. You've got to play defense in the NCAA tournament. you're not going to be able to outscore everybody.
Kentucky knows who they are. They play to their strengths. And you can also see in their rotation, they go 10 deep. And that's what they want to do. They want to play. They want to get up and down the floor. They want to outscore the other team. And then they go deep into the rotation to be able to do that, give some guys some rest, and kind of bounce the minutes and balance them around between 10 players.
Well, it worked Saturday because Arkansas looked like the tired team at the end of the game, and Kentucky was still fresh. That's a great point that, I didn't even think about Saturday during the game, Joe, because Arkansas, like you said, they stayed with them pretty much their 7-8 guys, and really out of necessity because of foul trouble, they kept rotating their bigs because they were in foul trouble or fouling out of the game. But for the most part, I remember looking up with about 8 minutes to go in the game, and I'm thinking Arkansas's got a chance to win this game. And I was like, if they can just hold on. I look at the clock, and there was like 8 minutes still to go in the game. I'm like, oh, we're a long way away. It was a long game. Maybe because of CBS, the timeouts, all the fouls called. This was another one of those games where you look at the free throws. Arkansas shot 28 free throws and made 27, by the way. Kudos to them. 27 of 28 from the free throw line. Outstanding. And that's a good total. 28 free throws on the road. Kentucky shot 42. You shoot 28 free throws, and that's 14 less than the other team. That creates a long game, and it's stressful. And I think you're right. I think they wore down Arkansas at this stretch, and Kentucky was the fresher team, and they appeared to be fresher at the end.
Brazil, Lawson, they both foul out. Caleb Battle, he continues to be Caleb Battle and do what he does and what he's done over the past 3 games. So we're continuing to see the growth with him and see him really come into his own and take that stride as the guy that's going to lead this team in scoring. And everybody else, you get everybody else involved, and they did a good job by getting others involved in Tremont Mark. Makai Mitchell had a bounce-back game. So they had a recipe that would go towards them winning. They just played an opponent in Kentucky here where that's what the game plan is. Kentucky wants to outscore the team, and you're playing against a high-powered team that can put up a lot of points.
Simple breakdown for me was Kentucky's just a better team. I know Arkansas was hanging with them, but when you go man for man, Kentucky's just a better team. The better team won on Saturday, even though Arkansas played very well and had an opportunity to win.
And that's something we knew going into the game. And Kentucky has had their struggles at home, and it is because they don't play defense. This was another game that you saw a case of it where Arkansas had a lead, but Kentucky being as explosive as they are, they were able to come back, and they're going to be able to do that in most games.
Yeah, that last 4 minutes, I was like, this is just going to come down. You remember old arena football days? Everybody would score just about every possession, but it was a team who could get one stop. That was huge. And I was like, that's what this game's going to boil down to. Just get a stop or two, and you can win this game. Arkansas never got a stop. Kentucky got a couple stops, and then Arkansas also missed 3 layups down the stretch. Now, there was some contact, but no foul was called, and they didn't convert. These were layups that they were making earlier in the game. One of them I'll take back. Makai was called, got the foul. He went to the free throw line, but he missed the layup. You know, he had a chance for an and one, but he made both free throws, but just they weren't able to convert those little chip shots, and then with 2 turnovers down the stretch, that's the difference in the game. I mean, right there is 8 points you left on the board, 9 if he converts the and one, and you end up losing by 9, 102-111.
We hear about opportunistic defense, and a lot of times it's in football, but this was a case of it in basketball. Yeah. That's what Kentucky has. They were getting in the passing lanes, and they were able to steal the ball a couple of times down the stretch.
Well, it was a wild week. You lose to Vanderbilt at home and then play well, better on the road against Kentucky. Here's Muss on what he's seeing from the team.
Every coach that I've worked for, your job is to try to continue to improve throughout the year. We did not play very well at all against Vanderbilt, but we were down double digits and came back and fought and gave ourselves a chance to put the game in overtime. Although we played poor basketball in that game, we showed some life towards the end of the game. Again, yeah, I mean, are we making progress? Today we made progress. Yes, we played our best offense, did a great job focusing on the foul line in a very tough environment. Defensively, we weren't that good, but this team has done that to other teams, especially in their own building. We had a chance to beat a team that has a chance to win the national championship. Did we lose? Absolutely. All the credit goes to Coach Calipari and Kentucky. But in that locker room that we represent, I'm extremely proud to be associated with their effort and the way they battled tonight. That's all you can ask a group of young men, and that's what they went out and did tonight.
Coming up in about 30 minutes, El Ellis will join us. We'll thanks to Matt Black, Allstate Insurance. We'll get his thoughts on the loss and what this week, the next couple games means to him. And his last game at Bud Walton Arena is coming up Wednesday night against LSU. It'll be the last home game for a lot of those players because so many of them will be running out of eligibility and they'll be moving on. And so one more chance for them to play at Bud Walton Arena. It means something to him. I'll just say that. I'll give you a little preview for what he had to tell us when we talked earlier. And also coming up, I should say, Kendall Diggs will join us. That's coming up in about 10 minutes, thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. We also are going to preview the high school basketball 6A boys state title game. Both head coaches will join us today. Brian Ross from the Central Tigers at 2:05 or about 2:10. After the Razor Hog update. And we have Mike Abrahamson from Bryant joining us at 2:30. Joe Klein will be here in the third hour from Corky's, talking a little bit more Razorback basketball with him. But we do have a very full lineup. Excited about the end of the week, Joe, the high school finals. I was just talking with Acree. The state tournament over the weekend was just outstanding. The overtime games, down to the wire, the drama, man. And we have so many teams in Central Arkansas that will be playing for a state title. It's going to make all these games intriguing. It all gets started Thursday at noon at Banco ZK Arena there in Hot Springs. It's the 3A girls, Bergman and Salem. These two teams have each won a state championship in the last 2 years. Salem last year, Bergman the year before. And then the boys, Bergman and CAC. CAC's got a good team, but they weren't I think that 28-5 is what they finished in the regular season off the top of my head. They weren't necessarily ranked in 3A, but they were right there on the cusp. And they go to the state tournament and reel off a couple wins, get a dramatic last-second victory to go to the state finals. And so they'll play for a state championship Thursday afternoon in the second game down there. And then Friday night, it's kind of funny how it worked out. Both Bergman boys and girls made it. And both Farmington boys and girls made it. So the Thursday night, Farmington girls against Morrilton. Farmington girls are awesome. Some people believe they're the best team in the state, no matter what classification. And they beat Nashville, who many consider that to be the state championship game. I know Morrilton's probably hoping they think that's the state championship game and forget to show up. Morrilton's got a good team. I've seen them play twice now. But Farmington's just a different level. They beat Nashville by like 30 points in the 4A semifinals. And then the Farmington boys, they're very good too, and they'll take on Little Rock Christian Academy. They're looking for back-to-back state championships. The boys game, 7:45 Thursday. Friday we come back with Greenwood and Valonia for the girls, two of the best 6A, 5A girls teams in the state, and they both made it there. Benton and Pine Bluff. I mean, Pine Bluff was one of those too. Courtney Crutchfield hits a runner for three to tie the game, to send it to overtime as the shot clock expires. I mean, it's literally he's running, dribbling, throws it up, goes in, buzzer goes off, go to overtime.
They needed him. He was one of those players that we talked about with Bill Ingram, that he was dealing with an injury, and look what he's able to do and kind of put it all together. They know it's the end of the season, and you only have a few games left, and it's win and advance or lose and go home, and he's there for the team.
Benton and Pine Bluff, Friday, 1:45. Then that's for the 5A boys. 6A girls, Central and Conway. Central making their first ever appearance in the state finals. I had no idea until I read it in the paper, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I was like, that can't be right. First state title game appearance ever for the Central girls. And they'll take on Conway.
Too, and they came down to the end like they seem to at this time of the year.
Then the Central boys will take on the Bryant boys for the third time this year. We'll have a preview of that coming up later in the show. And then Saturday we come back with the 1A and the 2A. And, man, it's just going to be a lot of fun. 12 games over 3 days. You got 4 games a day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All games can be heard right here on The Buzz. And then, of course, you can always watch on Arkansas PBS Sports. We will have I've talked to Acree and I've talked to HB. What we're going to do is just kind of extend the post-game show for the basketball to the top of the hour in Drive Time Sports. So it may be a mini version of Out of Bounds, or it may just be us kind of talking down there, but it'll be a very short show. If we even have a show, it may just be a long post-game show.
Yeah, just depending on how long those games go. And we know that they can be extended at times.
Man, if this weekend's an indication of what we have coming up, man, we could have some overtime games, and Drive Time Sports may start late. Who knows? I mean, the way some of these games have gone over the last couple of days. All right, let's take a phone call real quick before we get to our first break. Stan is in Little Rock. Stan, give me something good today. Stan.
Where's my man? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. What do you got?
Freaky Joe, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good, Stan. What's up, man? How are
Man,
you?
you know this seems like to me. Not just me, man. Everybody got their own thoughts. Now, Arkansas, like you say, Arkansas lost it to Vanderbilt. Then they come back and almost beat Kentucky. Man, now come on. But man, one man came. If the man had some help, they would have beat Kentucky. He didn't have no help. They just right now they're just a one-man show or one pony, whatever y'all call it. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man.
Well,
did that make sense to y'all?
Tremont Mark did have 23 points. He did have some help.
Yeah, they got to have some more help, though.
Well,
I know
Mitchell had 13
points. They got to have
points.
some help, man.
And Davenport had 14 points. They had 4 guys in double figures, Stan. The offense wasn't the problem.
They trying to survive. Kentucky played like they was on a mission, huh, Freaky Joe?
They
They're on a
did.
mission, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did.
Well, let me say this again. I'm going to let you go. Y'all hear it or you don't want to hear it, whatever. I'm still say it.
No, you're not. It wasn't about offense, and it wasn't about not having help for battle. It was about defense. You scored 102 points. You scored 102 points and lost by 9. That's the problem. And it's nothing new. Defense has been an issue for this team all year long. That's why they've been inconsistent. Sometimes they're able to outscore teams. Other times they're not.
The offense may have looked better because of playing another team with a struggling defense.
Defense, yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. That's why Arkansas was able to score 102 points. Kentucky's defense is that bad. Seriously, there were times I'm watching, I'm going, they don't even attempt to play defense. They just let Arkansas drive right to the basket. They're just like, hurry up and get the ball back. Let's go. Let's go.
They want it so they can go the other way and do what they do.
Yeah, and it worked. It worked for Kentucky. But my point is, against better teams, that's not going to work. I do not see – Coach Musselman said a couple times in his post-game press conference, this team could win a national championship. I do not believe that at all.
They could because they have that ability to score. You would rather have a team that can score at any time, anywhere on the floor than a really good defensive team that is predicated on all they do is lock down the other team, and they're playing all these close games. You want the team that can outscore teams. You don't want that really good defensive team or great defensive team because they're going to run up against a good offensive team that'll be able to outshoot them at some point.
You got to do both to win a national championship.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to be a complete team, but if it's one or the other, you want that high-powered offensive team.
Yeah, it may be good enough to get them to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, but I don't see Kentucky winning the national championship. Not with the light. Unless something changes and it clicks, and they're like, we got to play a little defense. We got to be able to get stops. We got to be able to, against good teams.
They have bigs that can do it.
They do. They have the athletes who can do it. They have some guys, if they want to get down and play some defense, they could do it. They haven't been able to get that going consistently. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Razorback baseball. A little nugget dropped from Coach Van Horn today at the Swatters Club. Said one of his pitchers may be coming back from Tommy John surgery and pitching tomorrow. Dylan Carter could pitch against UCA tomorrow, 10 months after having Tommy John surgery, or a form of Tommy John surgery. Remarkable comeback. They were hoping he would get back and pitch this season. I think they're a little surprised. Dylan Carter could be available tomorrow. We're going to talk with Kendall Diggs next. Kendall's brought to you by Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. He joins us every Monday at 1:30. Stick around. We're just getting started. It's Out of Bounds.
Roller Funeral Home and Bird Street Communities present the 2024 High School Basketball State Championships on 103.7 The Buzz and 106.7 Buzz 2.
This is SportsCenter.
Arkansas basketball put up a good effort on the road in Lexington on Saturday, but fell short, losing to Kentucky 111-102. With that loss, Arkansas is now below 500 at 14-15 overall. The Razorbacks have 2 games remaining in the regular season, Wednesday against LSU at home and Saturday on the road at Alabama. Woodrock capped off their regular season beating Tennessee Tech 81-43. They'll head into the OVC tournament riding a 9-game win streak. Holding the number 1 seed, the Trojans will not play until Friday. And Arkansas State fell to Appalachian State 80-57 on Saturday. They're the 4th seed in the Sun Belt Conference tournament. They won't play again until Saturday. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network. Listen for Oakwan's Nancy Holtis on the Zone, presented by Crave Barbecue and Specialty Dogs. Bryant's new sports mecca in Saline County. Crave carries all the sporting events on their flat screens, axe throwing, and 30 beers and mixed drinks on their beer wall. Award-winning barbecue and specialty dogs. Plus, get lunch for under $10. Crave Barbecue and Specialty Dogs in Bryant.
Ride free, ride bold. Richards Honda wants you to immerse yourself in the Honda Rebel 500's untamed spirit of rebellion, reigniting your passion for the open road. With the ageless allure of cruiser styling and the versatile power of a twin-cylinder engine, this exceptional machine seamlessly blends form and function. Equipped with state-of-the-art enhancements, including full LED lighting, a slipper assist clutch, and optional anti-lock braking. Richards Honda at 6600 South University is your place to find unrestricted bliss on highways and twisties alike as you transform ordinary journeys into unforgettable adventures. Always wear a helmet, eye protection, and protective clothing. Never ride after consuming drugs or alcohol, and never use the street as a racetrack. Obey the law and read the owner's manual thoroughly. Stop by Richards Honda at 6600 South University and let Rich and his team take care of all your needs. From repairs to accessories to new and used motorcycles and side-by-sides, Richards Honda has you covered.
Justin Acre here, and I can tell you, I know a few things about radio, and I can probably talk you through a football game, but I really don't know anything about much of anything else. CertaPro Painters does, though, and that's the company I always use when I need a project done at my house. I've used them for over a decade for a number of different projects, inside and outside, and I don't care if you're a painting expert, CertaPro's here to help and make the process as awesome as it can be for you. So get CertaPro on your project soon. You can schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. When it comes to painting, do what I do. Trust CertaPro.
Fellas, if you've been feeling tired and grumpy, noticed a lack of motivation and drive, you may have low T. Low testosterone levels can cause weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and so much more. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. They make it quick, it's easy to get your levels checked, and it's only $25. And with their on-site lab, you'll get results back in about 25 minutes. Most insurance is accepted for treatment. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Are you ready for a better forklift experience? River Valley Tractor and Castle Forklift have teamed up to manage your material handling needs. From diesel, lithium, propane, and so much more, Castle's product line is versatile, ready for the next generation of consumers to make every job easier. Step into the future of forklift innovation. Choose Castle. Visit River Valley Tractor, your authorized Castle forklift dealers in Central Arkansas.
Some people aren't easily inspired. They require a little more craftsmanship, more elegance, more excitement. Some people are inspired and see the future before it's here. They see the GV70 for its selection as a car and driver 10 best, GV80 for its soft quilted leather, reclining and heated second row seats, and for its IIHS top safety rating. What inspires you? The all-new Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today.
Make your tailgate the party of the parking lot by getting the best meats in all of Arkansas at Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Wait a minute, this love started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me smoking out the window.
Out of Bounds is back. Glad you're with us, Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. Before we get Kendall on here, let's take this call from Sean real quick. Sean, welcome into Out of Bounds. What's up?
What's going on, guys? I just wanted to say I don't see why people keep harping on the Razorbacks not being a good team. This is an elite team with some elite scores. We just had some bad nights. And if they could start this season over again, I guarantee you we'll be at 20 wins already. Because they brought these players in and everybody wanted to show what they could do. But now they have started to play more as a team. And I just feel like if they had a chance to do it again this year with the same team, with the exact same schedule, they'll have a bunch of wins because we saw them play for Purdue. We saw them lock down Duke. We saw them play some excellent game, and then something happened to the team. It just went up in the air, and we haven't been able to get it back until now.
Well, they're going to get
That's
a
all I
chance
want
to.
to get on.
Well, I'll say this, Sean. If you're a believer, they got a chance to start the season over next week at the SEC
With the
tournament. Yeah.
I feel like we got. I went to Oakland and I made me a bet. I'm pulling for the Razorbacks in that tournament.
What kind of odds
I'm
did you
pulling
get?
for them because I feel the odds. Well, I just made a bet on the Kentucky game and I won.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, they covered.
Yep,
sure
they
did.
covered. And it just seemed like when they play against a good team, they kind of step up. Well, against Tennessee, they didn't. Against Auburn, they didn't. But they have some elite scorers on their team, and if they all on at the same time, it's hard to beat them. But I agree with you on the defense. We didn't play no defense to let them score 111 points.
Yeah, that's the difference.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
I get
Sean.
off here.
Yeah, they're playing better. Offensively, no doubt. I mean, Caleb Battle now is 3 straight games scoring 30-plus points. You got to go back to Mason Jones. He's the last Razorback to do that. Caleb Battle is, he's taking his game to another level. The way he's able to get to the basket, get to the free throw line, make his free throws. Didn't hit as many threes in this game, but Caleb was able to get to the basket time after time after time. And then you throw in Tremont Mark. That's a great 1-2 punch. The problem is they've got to play a little defense. And it was an up-tempo game, a lot of possessions in this game, so a lot of opportunities to score. But still, Coach Musselman has made his runs because of defense. And this year they're not playing that kind of defense. Got one more home game. That's against LSU coming up Wednesday night. And we'll have the Gwatney Chevrolet, Gwatney Buick GMC post-game show from Walk-Ons Wednesday night. Justin Acree sitting in. Josh Neighbors is going to be gone, so Justin's going to be with me doing the post-game show. All right, let's move on. Talk a little baseball.
Kendall Diggs is brought to you by Stephen Elmore with Shelter Insurance. For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Stephen Elmore or give him a call at 501-537-0959.
Kendall, how you doing, man? How's it going?
I'm doing well. How about y'all?
Pretty good. Cool little story. Stephen Elmore, who sponsors the segment, made his first Razorback game this weekend, and it just happened to come Saturday when you hit your first home run. He texted me, and he was like, is it a coincidence or what? I go to my first game this year, and Kendall hits his first home run.
Hey, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad that worked out the way it did.
Yeah, now he's going to have to go to all the games, I guess.
No kidding.
Well, how'd you feel about the sweep?
Really good. Tons of positives to take from the weekend. Tons of things we can learn from, but overall, I'm really proud of the guys and how we performed, but really came out on that Sunday. It's not easy, no matter who you're playing, to beat a team 3 straight times. So it was really cool to see us, power through there and end up on top.
Kendall, if you will, just go through each game over the 3-game weekend, and starting with Friday, first game. How was that game for you as far as the flow of it, and what'd you think of the game overall?
Yeah, Hagen was Hagen again. Just going out there and just doing what he does. It's so fun playing defense behind, I mean, really any of these guys, but for him, every Friday night, he's going to go out there, give it all he has, which is more than enough. So, that was a really good overall game. I thought, we executed well on both sides of the ball. I'd say offensively we weren't, stoked with how we executed our approach, especially against the starting pitcher. But this early in the season, there's going to be bumps. But the main thing is playing as a team and winning. So Hagen did a great job. And then moving on to Saturday, Tiger did amazing. It was really cool for him, to get out there and see him. I mean, he was executing every single pitch he has. It was really cool for me to see him use his fastball the way he did. Just spotted it up, and it really helped set up, his alien curveball and slider he throws. That is, just an unbelievable pitch as well. But that was also another really, really fun game. Especially Saturday was a good one. The offense, exploded a little bit, had some big innings, which is really good to see. And the guys were having fun. And then Sunday we came out here. And we know, it's really difficult to beat a team 3 straight times, no matter who it is. So, Mason went out there and did his thing as well. And offense, we had some opportunities that we didn't take full advantage of. But, it takes what it takes. And, on Sunday it was 5 runs and it got the job done. So, but overall, I think the offense is taking good steps forward, and the pitching is taking as many steps forward as they can. But they're truly unbelievable. I've never played on any team with any sort of staff like this, starters, bullpen. I mean, if you look at it, our bullpen is so deep. We're about to play Central Arkansas tomorrow, and they're about to see some legit arms that would be throwing every single weekend on dang near every SEC team. So it's honestly unbelievable, but it's been really good.
We're talking with Kendall Diggs. He joins us thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. Kendall, I thought the wind gave you a hit, and then the wind took away an out for you. It was kind of ironic. You may lead the country in singles or I guess hits because of the wind now with 2. That's 2 good hits for you thanks to the wind.
It is. Yeah. It's kind of funny how it works here. That south wind is no joke, especially it feels like the 3 years I've been here early in the season, it usually howls from that right to left field pretty good. So it's helped me out a couple times. It didn't help me out late in that game yesterday when I was in right field. I can tell you that much. That was unfortunate, but it happens. There's stuff you can always learn from. But as far as conditions go, we do a really good job. I know our whole staff, Coach Green Horn, does a really good job, and telling us it's not an excuse. The other team's playing in it as well. So it's just stuff you got to deal with day in and day out, and we just go out there, and it's still the same game. So,
Kendall, something we talked to coming into the season is the excitement of being in the outfield every day as an everyday player in the field. Is that still kind of an adjustment period, or you up to speed? How's that going for you so far?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's really an adjustment now. For me now, it feels like I've been doing it for years. Testament to that was, for me, like I mentioned earlier, I think it was the first time I was on, was going and playing 35 to 37 straight games out there in right field in summer ball. Came back, did the same thing in the fall and pre-spring. So, now it's just kind of second nature, and I'm really enjoying it.
Tell me about Nolan Souza. I like what I see out of him. It looks like this kid can really hit.
That kid is special, legitimately special. So Nolan came in the fall, and he was hitting balls harder than anyone, further than anyone. He was running faster than anyone, and the potential was just off the charts. And I think for him, I had some chats with him actually in the fall, as far as at-bats. True at-bats went, and scrimmages and live at-bats and that kind of stuff. And, he was just asking a lot of questions. Coming from Hawaii, where he was at, he's like, dude, I didn't see, any plus pitching. He's like, I saw 75 to 80-mile-an-hour fastballs. So for him, it was a huge, huge adjustment. And, he'd come to me and, he'd ask, just simple approach questions. What are you thinking against a guy like this, whether it's righty, lefty, in certain counts? And, obviously you don't want to dive too deep into it. You want to keep something that's as hard as hitting, as simple as possible. But, there does have to be some, a little bit of thought process behind it. And seeing where Nolan has came from just the fall to now is one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life as far as in baseball. And honestly, it's a little scary to see how much better he has gotten in this short period of time. And I cannot even imagine where he's going to be at in his, sophomore, junior year, or even, look how he's performing now. Mm-hmm. He's getting better day in and day out. But he's incredible. I'm super, super proud of him. He's been getting his opportunity in there, and he's taking advantage of it. But as far as talent goes, he is one of the most talented players I've ever been around. And seeing him just grow in these past, 5-6 months has been unbelievable. So I'm super happy for him.
I'm curious if he can play anywhere else in the field besides second base, because today Dave Van Horn said at the Swatters Club that they're optimistic that Peyton Stovall will be back for the Missouri series in 2 weeks.
Yep.
And so, that's one less spot that's going to be available. But if Souza keeps hitting, is there somewhere else that he can play?
Yeah. No, Nolan can play short, third. He's an all-around. He's an athlete. And that's what's funny, he's got some hustle doubles. I think he's a couple stolen bags. We're sitting in the dugout, and it's funny. We're talking about it. We're like, so he has such enormous power and bat speed that his speed kind of gets overlooked. But we do a lot of sprint training and that kind of stuff all fall, a little bit early spring, and he's the fastest kid on our team, other than Ty Wonsmeyer. Him and him, they go hand in hand. They're about the same speed. So Nolan right now is an infielder, but if it comes down to it, I know he hasn't played outfield, but that kid, he's an athlete. You can throw him anywhere, and he's going to play. So he's going to be, if he keeps doing what he's been doing, he's going to be in a really good spot. And it's been really good to see him perform the way he has.
Game 2 in that offensive explosion, Jason Jones had a game also. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, it's been really good to see Jay. Just on the barrel a lot more. Jay was the same. I can say the same thing with Jason as I can with Nolan. Just uber talented. I mean, the same thing. When I saw first time Jason Jones took BP here last year, it was like, oh my goodness! And it's just special. And it's really. I'm really proud of Jay. It's not like early in the season. It might not go always how you want, but he's been showing up day in and day out with a good attitude. And baseball is very, very up and down. And I think his mindset has been really good with process over outcome, and that's something we take a lot of pride in. He's really coming around with the bat, and especially he's doing really well in left field too. He's in a very similar situation to what I was in last year, where he's been an infielder his whole entire life, and they told him, "Hey, I think you're going to play outfield for us," and shook his head, said, "Yes, sir, let's do it." And he's been working really hard out there. But if our team's going to have to live up to our potential, Jason Jones is going to be a big stick for us in the lineup, and I think it's looking really good, and I'm proud of what he's been doing lately.
Kendall Diggs with us, thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. I know you're not a guy that's looking for a home run, but how did it feel to get that first one out of the way and finally hit one over the fence?
Yeah, no, it felt really good. Like you said, not looking for it for sure. Honestly, it was a little surprising, getting it out to right field on a day like that with 25 to 30 mile an hour winds straight across. And thankfully it did go out. I was running down the first base line, and it was still going. It was still carrying, so I assumed it was going to go. And I looked at the dugout, trying to, I was fired up too. I was really. I was upset with my previous at bat. It was first and third, one out, and my job there is to drive in the run. And my approach got away from me, and I ended up striking out. And I was just upset with how it was just poor execution. That's not really who I am. I take pride in knowing my plan and executing for the team. So that was upsetting. And I remember I was walking up to lead off that inning, and I looked at Coach Thompson, and I was like, "Hey, that last at bat was embarrassing for me. I can promise you, that's the worst one you're going to see out of me. And this next one's going to be a lot better. Not saying I was going to hit a home run, but that's just how it worked out. But yeah, it was a good feeling for sure. To catch a good barrel, and be able to come through for the guys, especially start an inning like that. It just kind of sets the tone. Guys started playing a little bit more freely, so it was good.
Well, you got first and third yesterday, and you came through with or at least a guy on third with less than 2 outs. You hit the sac fly, and then later in the game, and I know you're happy about that, you had a runner on second. And I was wondering in your mind, and that's when you actually hit to center field and the ball fell. Were you trying to get it to the right side to move the runner to third? Is that something you're thinking at the plate?
Yeah. So as far as the sac fly at bat goes. That pitcher, first time through, he's a lot of fastballs, but after that, he was a pretty heavy mix, and so I knew that it was a full count. For me in that situation, I told myself I'm not going to be out in front of really anything. I'm not going to be fooled by a changeup or a slider because he had thrown me both those in at bat. He ended up throwing a slider, left it pretty much over the plate, but I caught it deep. I knew if I get some in the air, we're going to score. We had a good runner on third, so I take pride in. Like you said, like in at bats like that, I was fired up. It's a fly out, we scored a run, but I got the job done for the guys. And I came in, guys were pumped for me, I was pumped, and that was really good. As far as the at bat, the next one you're talking about, the little blooper to center field. Honestly, in that at bat, I was just grinding it out. I wasn't seeing the ball well with that righty on the mound. I think they had the righty. It was a low slot guy. I just wasn't seeing it very well, to be honest. He started me with the fastball. I think I check swung. I just didn't. It was kind of hard. I don't know if it was his release, how he was throwing the ball, or really what it was, but it just didn't. I wasn't super comfortable in the box with that AB. So when it gets to that 2 strikes point, it's like do or die. I don't care what you throw at me. I'm going to battle. So I think I fouled the pitch off, got to a 2-2 or full count, and he spun one. It could have been a ball down, but in that situation, with I'm not going to leave it in the umpire's hands. So, put a swing on it. It was blooping towards center. I think it usually would have been a little lousy fly out, but the wind kept pushing it in, and it worked out. So, we'll take every single one of those we can get. The way baseball works, I was super happy with my swing in the previous at bat off a sidearm lefty, and I line out to left field, and then. Probably, I hit it really good, probably over 100 miles an hour, and then you bloop one 70 miles an hour off the bat, and then that one's a hit. It's kind of funny how it works, but we're taking pride in getting the job done and taking all the wins that we can. So,
all right, got a big week this week. 4 games again, kind of like last week. Got a midweek game and then 3 at home against McNeese. I guess the goal is 4-0.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always is. I'm really excited. For UCA tomorrow, the in-state matchups are always really fun. These teams aren't coming here for the experience of playing in front of some fans in a good stadium. They're coming here to win. So I think all of us, we know that every time we step on this field or any field for that matter, we're not taking it for granted. So the guys are fired up. We're ready to go. And the weekend series, no matter who you're playing, speak for themselves. Those are always amazing as far as atmosphere-wise. Playing behind the best starting rotation bullpen in the country. It's just, all around. We don't have to get ourselves fired up. Every time I walk on that field, we get chills. So we're ready to go. But, yeah, the goal's 4-0, like you said. And then we're just taking it one game at a time right now. But, we got SEC play creeping up on us as well on the 15th. So, hopefully we keep getting better. That's the main goal. Just keep getting better, eliminating the small mistakes, especially when you get into the SEC play. It's a game of inches. It's a game of plays. You have to make plays. Like I said, I botched the ball in right field yesterday. That can't happen. We dodged a bullet there. And I know, we've had our handful of errors as a team. And, we're really working to clean that up, especially as we're, getting closer to conference play. That's the difference in winning and losing, because every team in this conference is very, very good. So,
Kendall, thank you. We appreciate the time. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
I appreciate y'all. Sounds good, man. Have a good one.
It's Kendall Diggs. Thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. Every Monday at 1:30. You could just see Joe when that ball dropped on him. He was just so mad at himself. And the wind, I mean, he read it right. The wind's blowing it. You know, he's coming in, charging it, and it just kept blowing closer to home, and he kept coming. And it just, you know, when the wind, it just drops straight down. And maybe even when it drops in angles away from him. And he had to try to almost do like a basket catch next to his chest and just bounced out of his glove.
Pretty soon that'll be over. As far as the weather in that capacity and having to deal with it, it'll be over soon.
McIntyre picked him up. Run didn't score, so it didn't matter. Just had to throw a couple more pitches. Stick around. We'll wrap up hour number 1 next. This is Out of Bounds.
Is your Oaklawn Thoroughbred racing action so close you can feel it? Or is it the view from your trackside luxury suite? However you like it, racing season is off and running at Oaklawn with live races every weekend through May 4th. It's fun by the furlong all season long. Make your reservations today at oaklawn.com. What's your Oaklawn? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agent Monica Reiners in North Little Rock, Larissa Cowley in Bryant, or Chris Allen in Stuttgart.
Did you know Arch Marine is the kayak leader in Central Arkansas? Right now, get 20% off all feel-free kayaks. All the prices are falling on kayaks this month. Don't forget, we repair ATVs. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, and so can you.
Roller Funeral Home and Birch Tree Communities present the 2024 High School Basketball State Championships on 103.7 The Buzz and 106.7 Buzz 2, March 7th through March 9th. Game coverage is brought to you in part by ASU 3 Rivers, Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, and Pro Copy and Mail.
Well, we are starting to make that move into warmer weather, and it's about time for you to get out and move again. Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk here for QC Kinetics. Do you have joint pain? Is your back hurting? Are your knees hurting? What about those shoulders? I know baseball and softball season are starting to kick up, and you want to be able to throw the ball with your kid, but that pain is bothering you right now. You need to get over and see my friends over at QC Kinetics for a free consultation. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and what I'm talking about is you can get lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. Oh, and by the way, it's a great use of your tax refund check. Call QC Connects for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Hi, I'm Todd Yakovian, your new chief meteorologist on KRK4 News, and I'm excited to start working for you. So download the Arkansas Storm Team app, stay up to date, and trust that the Arkansas Storm Team is always ready. Stay weather aware with the Arkansas Storm Team on KRK4.
Have a watch party that everyone wants to attend at your house with the best of meats in the business. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Back to Out of Bounds, quick segment here. How good is the SEC? We've been talking about basketball, how good it is. 5 of the top 17 teams in the country are in the SEC. And you look at the players of the week this week. Caleb Battle averaged over 30 points a game this week. He had back-to-back 30-point performances. And then the game before that, he scored 42. Caleb Battle's not even all SEC. He's not even co-SEC. Michi Johnson from South Carolina and Dalton Connect are co-players of the week this week.
Dalton Connect.
Oh, my gosh.
We know what type of game he had against Auburn.
Dude's nasty. I watched him, that Auburn game. I'm not sure what he did against Alabama, but he averaged over 26 points, 3 rebounds, and a steal in the 2 wins against number 11 Auburn, number 14 Alabama. He's fun to watch. Yeah, that's SEC's loaded. Caleb Battle. Hey, nice that you averaged 30 points last week, but that's not good enough. Not good enough for player of the week. Not this week. Maybe the week before when he had the 40-something, but not this week. And another note, Izzy Higginbottom from Arkansas State, Batesville High School. She is first-team All-Sun Belt. So congratulations to her. Those awards just came out.
That's awesome.
Led the conference in scoring this year. Little Rock Trojans, of course, won over the weekend again. They're the number 1 seed in the OVC tournament, and they're having a send-off tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3, they're leaving the Jack Stevens Center and heading to the OVC tournament and inviting people out to send them off. And and the women, they won, and they got the number 2 seed. And a crazy thing for them, the number 1 seed for the women, they're in transition. They can't go to the NCAA tournament. So if they win their semifinal game and Little Rock wins theirs, Little Rock's going to the tournament, even if they lose in the finals.
That's a good position to be in.
Just win that semifinal game. Hour number 2's next.
Coach Matt Zimmerman joins Randy and Rick on Drive Time Sports each week to talk all things college hoops, courtesy of the DHR Group of Sonic Drive-Ins.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months, and River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
1 in 6 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime, and we're more than twice as likely to die from the disease. Plus, a family history of prostate cancer can double your risk. We can do something about this. We can take control of our health, and that starts with talking to your doctor about getting screened for prostate cancer with a simple blood test, because it's your life, and when prostate cancer is caught early, it's highly treatable. If you want more info, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. Go to pcf.org/knowyourrisk today.
Sports talk and entertainment.
I can't understand the food in your mouth.
That'll put a smile on your face.
I'm being serious. I can't understand a word you're saying.
KABZ Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
In Bentonville, the Northwest Arkansas Community College Spring Arts and Culture Festival will take place today, an annual event designed to encourage conversations about social issues, broaden cultural understanding, promote creativity and diversity, and celebrate the arts. This event will offer exhibits, speakers, performances, panels, workshops, and more. The festival will offer in-person, streaming, and recorded events that are free and open to the public. Monsters of Todd celebrated its 10-year anniversary over the weekend in Little Rock. This event brings thousands of people together each year through cancer awareness and music. It started back in 2013 as a benefit concert to help Arkansas native veteran and musician Todd Mills through his cancer journey. After Todd's passing, the concert continues as a way to help other families fight cancer by decreasing their financial burdens. All of the proceeds from this year will go to Cartai's Patient Assistance Program. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
103.7 The Buzz is your home for Arkansas Razorback basketball. Coverage is brought to you by Red River Ford, Lion Legal, Central Arkansas Cadillac Dealers, Malvern National Bank, and Genesis of Conway.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Rain chances back this week. Today, about a 30% chance of scattered showers and a high today around 80 degrees, so still quite warm. Tonight slowed down to 57. Tomorrow, those rain chances go up to 70% and a high of 72. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Thompson Electric presents Jackson Wells each week in the zone with Justin and DJ. Thompson Electric since 1983, providing innovative electrical solutions for your business. To learn more, check them on the web at thompsonelectric.com, or you can search Thompson Electric on Facebook and Instagram for more information.
It's Justin Acre for CertaPro Painters. It's a company I've used for years for many projects, inside and outside over the years, and soon you'll be able to say the same, and you'll be happy that you can. I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, but CertaPro does. They'll walk you through the process, help you pick out exactly the right color paint for whatever room you're trying to redo, and they're going to leave behind a beautiful, clean project. You won't even know they were there other than the project being done, and your wall's looking great. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, so get them on the case as soon as possible. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
If you are looking for a safe and loving home for you or your loved one, visit Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center. Just 15 minutes from Little Rock and Benton, our skilled nursing staff is dedicated to providing quality long-term care and short-term therapy. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com. You can call Heartland home.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Little Rock area attorneys. Office in Midtown Little Rock. Gianna Missouri, licensed in Arkansas. CordellCordell.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Stifel Financial presents Razorback pitcher Hagen Smith when he gets in the zone each week with Justin and DJ. Stifel Financial with branches in Wood Rock, Hot Springs, and Fort Smith, serving clients since 1890.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Peter Burns.
There's GMs that are looking for one excuse, and the Bears find themselves in a situation where they have been atrocious at the quarterback position. I mean, we're talking since Jim McMahon.
Forever.
Forever, basically, right. Like, there are generations. There are kids today that will play Madden in Chicago Bears, and they're like, we've never had a quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. And you thought, all right, there might be this guy in Justin Fields. I think Fields unlocked a little bit more of his potential going forward. The question is all right, do you want to see the potential of Caleb Williams, or do you still have Justin Fields? And that's a whole different topic. But I think for Caleb, it's like, hey, man, what if all of a sudden I got some guy right here that says, you know what, we looked at this, and I see something different in this X-ray. I don't know. There's a question mark on whether or not he should be the overall number one.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 15% when you buy 10 or more select primed finger joint boards. And there's more. Save 10% on your choice of any 5 or more Reliabuilt lock sets. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Live from the Hogg's Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. It's time for your Razor Hog update on Out of Bounds. Brought to you by Floyd's Seafood, Keel Avenue in Sherwood. It's crawfish season. Floyd's Seafood has live and cooked crawfish. Order yours today.
Diamond Hogs get the sweep over the weekend against Murray State. Great to have Kendall Diggs on here. Thanks to Stephen Elmore Shelter Insurance. He was excited about it. He had a hit in every single game. I'm thinking, Joe, I know he did against Grambling, and then he did last week. I think he had a hit in all the – I wonder if he's had a hit in every game.
Every game.
I might have to look and see if he's what are they, 9-2? If he's got 11-game hitting streak so far. I'm not sure. Coach Van Horn was speaking at the Swatters Club earlier today. Two little tidbits that came out. Dylan Carter may be able to pitch tomorrow. He was had Tommy John surgery, the elbow surgery, last year. So 10 months afterwards, he could be back on the mound. And then also Peyton Stovall. They're feeling good about his progress from a broken foot, and he may be able to return for the first SEC series against Missouri. So it wouldn't be this weekend, but it would be the following weekend. So something to keep an eye on right there with Peyton Stovall possibly returning.
That is great news with Dylan Carter being able to make a quick return like that, because when we hear about Tommy John surgery, a lot of times it's an entire season, and then it could go into the following season. So 10 months, that is a quick recovery.
Razorback basketball team falls to Kentucky. Next up is LSU Wednesday. It'll be the last home game for the Razorbacks. Also, I got the women's team. There will be a 10 seed at the women's SEC tournament taking on Auburn Thursday. Softball team did well over the weekend at the Woo Pig Classic. They continue to be a top 20 team. Gymnastics team put up the highest score ever in school history and beat Missouri over the weekend up in Columbia. I guess that was yesterday, so congratulations to them. Track and field rolling, getting ready for the indoor championships, national championships. So
they're in familiar territory.
Yeah.
This is what they do, year in, year out.
Win national championships. We'll have L. Ellis coming up in a bit. We had a little phone issue with Kendall, so we couldn't get him on. We got him on a little late, and then the interview was good and just went a little long with him. So we'll play the L. Ellis interview later this hour. We're going to talk some high school hoops now. Got the state championships coming up on the Buzz. Do you have a number for Coach? No, I need Coach Ross's number. Okay.
Well, I didn't say no on there. It's just
it says no James. That was from the show before. All right, I'll get you Coach Ross's number. He is waiting for us. So the basketball state championships, will you grab this from me, Joe?
Yeah. Coach Ross, it may be a better idea for Coach Ross to call us, actually.
That's true, since we're having some issues with our phone numbers. That's probably a good idea. I'll tell him to call us. I'll just tell him to call the regular number.
It works. It'll work. It should work fine with him calling in.
Okay, done. So Thursday, first state championship game starts at noon at Hot Springs at Banco ZK Arena. Like I said, you can hear all the games right here on the Buzz. Bergman and Salem. That game is at noon. That is for the 3A Girls State Championship. And then the Bergman boys will take on CAC at 1:45. Try to get Coach Hall on here, talk about the CAC boys and what a run that they've had through the state tournament to qualify for this state championship game. Then a Farmington night. Thursday night's all about Farmington. Farmington girls taking on Morrilton at 6 o'clock. Then the Farmington boys take on Little Rock Christian Academy. Little Rock Christian Academy, the Warriors trying to go back-to-back. 7:45 to start for that game. Friday, you got Greenwood and Valonia, Benton and Pine Bluff. What a great boys game right there. And the girls game, too. Greenwood and Valonia, I think for the most part, people thought they were the two best teams or two of the three best teams in 5A girls. And then the 6A girls and the boys, all Central Affair. No West teams made it to the finals this year. Central girls, Conway girls, 6 o'clock, and then Central boys, Bryant boys at 7:45. Saturday we come back with 4 more games. 1A boys, Nevada, Mark Tree at 1:15. I've skipped the girls, Mammoth Spring and Norfolk at 11:30. And then the 2A girls, Mount Vernon and Nola, undefeated this year, haven't lost against Mansfield. I think Mansfield's undefeated too. 2 undefeated teams going for the title. And then we finish it up, last game of the year, EPC, East Poinsett County and Marshall at 7:45. You may have to call him, Joe. You may have to see what you can do, because
we'll see if we can make it work.
He's not responding to my texts, so he may not be paying attention to his text. Let me give you that number.
He's just waiting on the call. He's sitting patiently.
Try that. You got it? Oh, I put it on location. Can you see location?
No.
You can't?
No.
Oh, having all kinds of issues here. And this mouse, I've never seen a mouse like this with a wheel on it. How do you even get in that little box right there?
It's old school. Everybody, hey, Wes, you're becoming Mr. Handyman, so everybody's complained about it for years.
Yeah. You know what we can do? Just get another mouse.
Yeah, take it into your hands and replace it.
I can't get it in there. Will you just come grab? There it is, finally. Gosh, it's a cluster. There you go. I didn't want to give his phone number out over the air. That would be the last. All right, Joe, there's somebody calling. That may be him right now. He may have saw his text. Central had some great games over the weekend. Of course, we had Coach Ross earlier. There he is. Let's bring him in. I was just telling everybody, Coach, about the intense games that y'all had over the weekend to get to the state championship. I mean, talk about being battle-tested. That's one of the things about that 6A Central. It prepares you for the tournament. I guess you guys were well prepared for some of those battles.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, our conference gets us ready. We had a lot of really, really tough games in the non-conference. So, we've been in fourth quarter back-and-forth games. I don't know how many times this year. It feels like a dozen or more games came down to the fourth quarter. So, when it comes to those things, it's really about just trusting your players trusting each other, and they all got to, take what they've learned all season and put it together in those final minutes and make the right play.
Coach, you mentioned being in that situation, but each game is its own. So how was it during the stretch of that game where it did come down to the end once again?
Yeah, against Harbor on Saturday, I mean, it was literally like a 1-point game the entire fourth quarter. And Daniel Culverson's really a guy that came through. We charted in the final 4 minutes. He had 2 steals, 3 assists, and made a pull-up jumper. Plus, he was defending Cortland Mulger that entire time, who scored 0 points in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, he was really the MVP down the stretch, just made something happen on every single possession for us.
Had a huge shot there at the end of the game. Was that something you drew up? Was that a play that you called?
Well, we took a timeout there because we wanted to get a certain look, and really it's not so much I'm over there trying to determine who gets the shot. I just want to put guys in the right spot. So we had Culberson coming off the ball screen because he's the fastest kid in America probably. And we had Honor down near the rim. I knew they weren't going to help off, and if they stuck, 1.5 or 2 guys around him, it's going to be really hard to help off. I thought D might get a right-handed layup coming off that ball screen. But in the end, it comes down to him just making the play. I mean, he came off, he saw the defense flooding towards the right side where he was going, and he made that throwback pass. And, we work on reading the defense all the time, but in the end, it's about the players making the plays. He threw it back, and then Clay comes in ice cold off the bench and hits a 3. Clay's a 5'7" sophomore, and he had a 6'5" kid running at him, and he just drilled it. So that was big time for Clay.
This is what the players have worked for all season. Going back to the off season, this is what they wanted. They wanted to be in this position, and this is what they put in the work for. So now that you're here, what's the message that you're giving to the players, and What are they kind of talking about amongst themselves and responding to you?
No, it's on their plate. I mean, we've done our jobs as far as trying to teach them the game. It's not like we're having to motivate anybody at this point. I mean, yeah, we're working on a few X's and O's things here this week to, maybe just tweaking 2 or 3 things, maybe some special situation type stuff because you do have 4 days of practice getting ready for the game. But in the end, we know Bryant. They know us. I mean, our kids are all best friends off the court, so it's going to be a fun game. Tons of talent out there on the floor. And, I've been saying this word all week, and going to continue to say it this coming week. It's about trust. And if you got to trust each other to make the right plays. On Thursday night, the game winner against Springdale, the play was really for honor, but he got doubled, so he threw the ball to Luke, and Luke hits the 3. And then Saturday night, the play was really for D to have the ball in his hands, and he trusted, made the right play, and threw the ball to Clay. So it could be anybody, anytime, and your guys just have to go out there and play basketball. It's a team game, and that's what was really fun about both of those games. There was different players involved in every play that was a game-winning play.
Central Tigers head coach Brian Ross with us on Out of Bounds. Coach, after 2 stressful games at the state tournament, how did you decompress Sunday?
I woke up, answered a bunch of emails, then we went to church, and then I took my boys out to the golf course for 9 holes and did a little caddy, a little more coaching, just a different sport and a little less pressure. And then we came back home about 3 o'clock and kind of got back to looking at Bryant stuff after that. But yeah, we had a nice afternoon there on a pretty day.
Looking at Bryant, and you mentioned that Bryant Central, you guys know each other well. What is it that makes Bryant as good as they are, a really good team?
I mean, it starts up the top with Coach Abrahamson. He does an excellent job. I mean, he's probably the best coach in our league. No offense to anyone else. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's good every year. They play tough defense. They're kind of like us. I mean, I think they play together. They take really good, high-quality shots. You got great athletes at every position. But as far as their players, man, it starts with Kellen Robinson. What's he averaging? 23, 24 a game. Just an electric scorer. But he was out for about 2 or 3 weeks, and they were still able to be pretty good without him. So there's other guys on that team that can really play. And it's just 2 well-rounded teams. I mean, we're kind of mirror images of each other in a little way.
Can you learn, or what did you learn from the first 2 matchups against Bryant that you can do better this time?
We got to finish the game better. I mean, the last time we had a lead coming down the fourth quarter stretch, and we kind of uncharacteristically, didn't make all the right plays down the stretch. We were up 8, and we were playing in a hurry. It was almost like we were playing like we were down 8 with 3 minutes left, and it was the reverse of that. So I think we did learn a lot from that, and it's shown in some of our games since then. In the first time that we played, I don't think we came out with the right intensity. I'm not sure why, but they got us down 17 at halftime. We were able to fight back, and it ended up being a 1-possession game. But, we just realized that those guys are going to come. Like, they think they're going to beat us. We think we're going to beat them, and there's not going to be anybody backing down from anybody. So you got to bring it for 32 minutes.
Coach, you mentioned finish, and you guys have some Finish T-shirts. We've heard from some alumni players and several fans. They want to know how they get one of those T-shirts also.
They're going to have to call Coach McGee, our athletic director, on that. I don't know. He was the one placing the order. I was in charge of getting the players on the order. So I'm not sure, because it's a super fast turnaround time trying to get some made here before Thursday.
What kind of crowd do you expect Thursday with the girls playing too?
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I mean, to have your girls there and then us playing right after, that's going to multiply the Central Nation crowd there by quite a bit. So, I mean, I know our section's going to be full, and I'm sure that our people are going to take up as much of those public tickets as they can. We're really looking forward to it. We've just been hearing from people constantly since since the game ended about how excited they are and how they're coming. They're bringing their kids, all this. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome.
What do you do between now and Friday?
You try to keep the guys locked in. Like today, we're not trying to rush into Bryant game prep because we've got 3 more days. You never have 3 days to prep for a game. So we are focusing on us today. We're going to review that game from Saturday and talk about what went well and what didn't go well. We're going to try to make sure we're shooting the ball a lot and staying in rhythm. We're going to get people, nobody's injured, but we're going to test them a little bit, get them healthy. We will practice, but it's not going to be anything where we're putting the guys through a whole bunch of wind sprints or anything. And then we'll really start our game plan prep or install with the team tomorrow. You got 3 full days. It's not going to be for a lack of preparation. You're going to be ready to go by Friday because in basketball, you don't ever get a week between games.
Friday night, 7:45, Central and Bryant. Girls tip off at 6 against Conway. Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck and congratulations.
All right, thanks a lot.
Brian Ross joining us on Out of Bounds. We'll hear from Coach Abrahamson next. He's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Yeah, that is a special Central High School's got to be so excited, all the alum, that to have the boys and girls playing back-to-back for state titles. There are 3 teams that are doing it. We've talked about Bergman. They get it started. The whole tournament started. Then Farmington on Thursday, and then Central's got 2 teams on Friday.
Girls are playing great at the right time also because they had some ups and downs throughout the regular season, but towards the end, they were able to put it all together. And then now that they're in postseason play, they've been knocking off some of the top teams in the tournament.
I'm going off memory, but I think it's Jordan Marshall for Central girls. She's a baller. She can go. She's a D1 player. She can go. I remember years, probably as a sophomore, we honored her at the Little Rock Tip-Off Club as the Player of the Week. And, man, she's done nothing but get better and better and better. She's worth the price of admission getting to watch her play against Conway. That'll be a great matchup, too, on Friday night.
You can see it in these kids, the younger. They're younger these days. You can see it in them when, they're before they even get to this high school level. And then it seems like if they're a freshman, they're ready to go right then.
No. Yeah,
and then you continue to see the growth as they get a little bit older.
It was crazy during the state tournament watching freshmen having success, boys and girls level, and they're just going to get better and better and better. Summer ball, that's what helps. They're playing so much basketball, and they develop sooner than when we were kids. All right, we'll switch gears. We'll go to the other side. Talk about the Bryant Hornets next with Coach Abrahamson. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse presents Match Game on Morning Mayhem. Listen for your chance to play their version of the classic TV game show. Brought to you by Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse, Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters for over 30 years. Call 501-568-0040 today or click online at arkansastruck.com.
This is Sports Center.
Arkansas baseball got its first weekend series sweep of the season, beating Murray State 5-1 on Friday, 11-1 on Saturday, and 5-3 yesterday. The starters Hagen Smith, Brady Tigert, and Mason Molina finished the weekend combining for 32 strikeouts and just 3 walks. Freshman Nolan Souza was the star at the plate in yesterday's game, going 2 for 4 with 1 home run and 3 RBIs. Next up for Arkansas will be hosting Central Arkansas tomorrow. Freshman Colin Fisher is expected to be the starter. He's 2-1 with a 0 ERA. First pitch is set for 3. Coverage can be heard on 106.7 Buzz 2. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
This is Pat Bradley for Brewski's Central Arkansas. Here's the Brewski's North schedule. Doors open 7 days a week for lunch at 11 a.m. Happy hour goes from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sports trivia every Monday at 7 p.m. Tuesday night, Texas Hold'em Poker at 7 p.m. And Wednesday, trivia night at 7 p.m. Thursday night live music has a new start time and gets going at 8 p.m. Every Friday, Saturday night, it's karaoke party, 9 p.m. till 2 a.m. Brewski's, you home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
Hi folks, it's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. When you're in the market for a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram, we hope you give us a chance to earn your business. Here's some things to consider. Fletcher Dodge has been family-owned dealer here in Sherwood for over 25 years. We know how to take care of our customers to keep them coming back. Every Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram dealer pays the same price for their vehicles. It's the dealer that makes the difference. We'll give you the best deal up front. No haggling, no arguing. We make it easy to buy a new vehicle, and we'll pay you more for your trade-in. Compare our deal to anybody's, and you'll buy from us. Come see us today for the deal of a lifetime on new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram. At Frank Fletcher Dodge, you'll always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. We want to be your dealer for life. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Just tell us what you're looking for and we'll make you a deal. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Right now at Fort Thompson, Smith & Wesson Shield 2.0 9mm $269.90. Beretta APX-A1 9mm $199.90 after $50 mail-in rebate. CCI 9mm brass 50 count box $12.99 at Fort Thompson in Sherwood.
Chosen as one of Arkansas's best places to work 8 years in a row, Rainwater Holt & Sexton is hiring premier paralegals and legal assistants with an emphasis on bilingual Spanish-speaking candidates at all locations. Rainwater Holt & Sexton's mission is to compassionately represent injured and disabled Arkansans. With generous benefits and competitive pay, Rainwater Holt & Sexton is a destination employer hiring the best. We are also seeking bilingual Spanish-speaking attorneys to join our team. Apply today at callrainwater.com.
Hey, oh, what a great Monday show.
You know what? It seemed like we've been away forever, but we made it back.
Great job of sumo wrestling last night, Roger. Outstanding.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, God, what a show. John Daly.
Daly's coming
John Daly's back on the show tomorrow.
Rick Schaefer
exactly,
tomorrow.
And a little match game.
Oh, end it.
It's not just about the size of the meat, it's about where you get it from. So get it from Hogg's Meat Market in North Little Rock. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Yeah.
Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services, serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years. They're your small to mid-sized specialist. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672.
What a great weekend it was. It was a lot of fun watching these state tournaments, the semifinal games, figuring out who's going to the championship game. And now we're going to jump to the other side of the court. We just had Central's coach on here, Coach Ross. Now we're going to talk with Bryant's head coach. Coach Mike Abrahamson joins us on Out of Bounds. Coach, welcome into the show. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on again.
After that win streak, you dealt with injuries, then you get it back going again. How's it feel just to be in the state championship game?
Well, it feels great. We also had a good run of the flu go through our team. So we've we've had a great year, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's been smooth the whole time.
At that time during the season, about the flu running through the team, when did that occur, and how did you guys bounce back and get through it?
Well, most people know, one of our great players, Kellen Robinson, sprained his ankle, missed some games. It was right at the same time the flu started hitting. We had guys. Nobody missed other than Kellen with his ankle for the flu. Nobody missed more than one game. But I mean, it certainly hurt our depth and just our rhythm of playing together. We were already dealing with being down one guy, and then from time to time we were down another guy. So. But I think everybody dealt with it. It's one of those things, you just have to keep forging ahead, and we have a next man up mentality. So we made it through, and so now it feels good to be back at full strength.
Coach, did it seem like you guys kind of worked out your nerves against Bentonville West, maybe Rust, whatever you want to call it? It just seemed like y'all played even better against North Little Rock than you did in the first round.
Yeah, I think that's common. I think there's a portion of coaches out there in our classification at least that want to get rid of the bye for that reason. And if you look at it, other than maybe Central, it seemed like everybody played a little looser their second game. I don't know. You can talk about it as much as you want. They're still, kids and young men, and yeah, it's nerves. And I'll say this too. Bentonville West, they're a lot better now than they were in November and December. They've improved a ton. It was a matchup of two different, very different styles, and so it was tough. Yeah, it was tough. We had some guys cramping in that game. It was hot in the gym, and it was tough, and nerves were definitely a part of it at the beginning as well.
Got a good look at North Little Rock just a couple of weeks ago. So what were you able to take from that game against North Little Rock into this one, and really have a really good game where you got a convincing win?
Yeah, actually, Joe, that's the fourth time we played them this year. We played them.
Wow.
We played them in a holiday tournament in Fort Smith, and then we played them 2 times in conference, and then we played them Saturday in the semifinals. So we were both very familiar with each other. Our guys just really bought into our game plan and just trying to just play better. North Little Rock's really good, and they're off the bounce. They're really good. They're so good at getting in that lane and getting layups, and of course that drives me crazy. So I think our players, it finally drove them crazy, and they did a great job Saturday night. I was super proud of them.
I didn't realize this until I'm looking at the notes you provided for the TV guys that are doing the game for you Friday night. But the last time you were in the state championship game in 2019, you had K.K. Robinson and Cameron Hunter. And now their little brothers are leading this year's team.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's surreal at times coaching them and then having coached their older brothers. And I've coached other siblings in the past. These two guys obviously are really good, and their brother's really good. And to make it to the finals again, there's so many similarities between this year and that year. It's a blessing to coach all 4 of them. I'll tell you that. They're not only great players. They're great people. They're raised by great parents, and they're easy to coach, and they're high character kids, and I'm close with all of them, and it's just been a blessing to be a part of their journey. These two kids, CB and Kellen, when they were younger, they'd come to practice and hang out on the sideline. They'd come to games. They were young and energetic, and they'd help me coach the team. They were such big personalities at such a young age. One time I was coaching in a holiday tournament in Fort Smith when I was coaching Cam and KK, and I hear this voice behind me the whole time, and I finally I don't hear a lot during games like that, but it was so obvious. I turn around, I look, and CB's on a knee coaching, sitting at the end of our bench, coaching the team, echoing everything I'm saying, and now here he is on the court for us, leading us in games. It's been pretty cool.
Another team you're familiar with is Central. This is the team you're playing in the championship game. This will be the 3rd time for the season. So what can you tell us about Central? And you had a couple of close games against them also, and so these are games that come down to the end. What is it about Central and facing them and having these really close games?
Well, they're super talented, number one. Obviously, Honor Boateng going to Missouri, reigning Gatorade Player of the Year. Super talented. You got good guards, Luke Moore and D. Culberson, and they got the big with C.J. Washington, and then the sophomore that just hit the shot the other day. Man, he's come on big for him. So super talented, well coached. Coach Ross is a great coach. Been there several times between his different stops, and it's a matchup. It's a fun matchup, I think, for the fans. All these guys are friends. They hang out off the court together, which is different than in our day, but it is what it is. And so I think, number one, there's just going to be a lot of good players out there on that court Friday night. Should be a good game to watch. I'm sure Brian and I are not we have a different perspective on the game, but for the fans, it's going to be a great game.
Does that make the players go harder? Because that's something that you mentioned. They're all friends, and it is different. But it's been put out there that when you're playing against your good friend, playing against your brother, that makes you go harder, and there's even more of a drive to come away with a win. Yeah,
I think it certainly does with these guys. I mean, you can tell that they go at it, and it's a highly competitive game, so it can get chitty at times. But later that night they'll all be right back together, I'm sure, before the night's over. It's just the way they are, and that's the way it is with a lot of the kids these days at a lot of schools. Corey Withers at North Little Rock, what a great player. Mm-hmm. He's been a great player for North Little Rock for years, and hard to guard, and was I felt awful. He was super upset, the other night. But our guy watched film and let it play through the handshake line, and man, our guys were hugging him, and they're all friends. They all work out together. They all do things outside of school together, and but it doesn't affect how they compete, and they go hard at each other. So I think you're absolutely right on that one.
We're talking with Bryant's head basketball coach, Mike Abrahamson. He joins us on Out of Bounds. Coach, your top three scores are all coming back next year, either a junior or a sophomore. Any concern whatsoever that the thought can be, well, we always got next year or the next, that this may not be our year?
No, I don't know. I think the opposite, actually. We lost in 19 and didn't play well. It was Northside was really good, and obviously Jalen Williams in the NBA now, and so it was it was tough for us. But a lot of people would say to me, it's funny that you bring that up. I was just talking about that. People said last time, "Oh, we'll get them next year." And
yeah,
you don't know that, and you just don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. And KK ended up going to Oak Hill that next year, which, hey, listen, I supported them. Whatever they think is best for their family, I supported them. It's just the way it goes these days. There are no guarantees. So we're not thinking about next year at all. We're not talking about next year at all. We're talking about today. We're about to practice right now when I get off the phone with you, and we're not banking on next year at all. No.
After having such a long win streak and then you take a loss, what kind of happened at that time as far as the message from you and the coaching staff, or did the players just take it upon themselves where they wanted to bounce back? They had such a long win streak, they had a loss, and now they really wanted to kick it into full gear down the stretch, and especially with playoffs and tournament coming right after that.
Yeah, it's both. It was both, but the more important factor to that is the players. I think as a coach, that's my job, and that's we want to look at it as an opportunity to grow and get better and learn and maybe reset. But it doesn't really matter if the players don't take that by the reins and go do it, and our players did, and so it did. It made us better. We didn't want to lose. We weren't trying to lose. We were trying to win, and we didn't. And we didn't play well. And there's a lot of things that could have done better. And so I think that sometimes we play like that and we've been able to come out with a win. And it's harder to sell those messages when you come out with a win to young people. And so I think that got everybody's attention, and we were able to reset from there. But the players have taken it, and as the year's gone on, we've become more and more of a player-led team, which is what I want. I think most coaches want.
Coach, you can't wait, man. It's going to be so much fun Friday night with the all-Central affair. How about the 6A Central? You guys dominate boys and girls in the finals.
Well, pretty strong basketball right here in Central Arkansas, and we respect the West, and we think the West is really good. We do, but, gosh, there's just really good players down here and really good teams. And so I'm not surprised, honestly, not surprised.
Coach, good luck. Thank you for your time.
Yes, thanks for having me on, guys.
We'll
Appreciate
see
it.
you Friday night. Mike Abrahamson.
See you there.
Head coach there at Bryan Hornets.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I was looking at his roster, and that's when it hit me. Junior, sophomore. But like he said, there's no gear. I mean, you even look like Muldrow, heck of a player. There's some really good teams that aren't making it to Hot Springs. And you think, this is our year. In every classification, there are teams that thought they were going to, be able to get to Hot Springs. It just shows you how tough it is just to get to the state finals, much less win a state championship.
That's what tournament play is all about.
Yeah.
You got to bring your best.
And it's going to be a fun 3 days down in Hot Springs. We'll take a break. We can take some phone calls later on. When we come back, Ellis. Got to talk with him yesterday. Hit on the Kentucky loss. And then look ahead to the next 2 games. What these guys are trying to accomplish before the season's over. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Calling all basketball fans, our season is here. We know that this time of year, traveling fouls can happen anywhere and anytime. That's why All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros is the MVP of tire service and savings. Our expert, certified technicians are the community's #1 trusted choice for any tire or service need, with the goal of making sure you're not stuck on the bench. Visit in stores in Mapleville or Little Rock, online at allabouttireandbrake.com. Tire Pros, love the drive.
I'm Hunter Bell at Bell Chevrolet. We know the best part of being in Arkansas is the people. That's why we believe you're not just customers. You're our friends and family. We're determined to go above and beyond to help make things a little easier. And we put in the hours every day so we can take care of our families and you can take care of yours.
We are here for you, Arkansas. Come help us make it even better at Bale. Shop Bale Chevrolet and BaleChevrolet.com today. Find new roads.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as the last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patient active with no downtime, and get them back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
This is Trey Reed from the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz, inviting you to join Mark Hedrick and me Tuesday nights at 7 p.m.
Brought to you by Westrock Landing at Lake Maumelle, Edwards Food Giant, All About Tire and Brake, Battery Outfitters, and Trader Bill's Outdoors, Hot Springs, and Little Rock locations.
It's the Wild Side, Tuesday at 7 p.m., only on 103.7 The Buzz.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
If your bathroom needs a new look, make Home Outlet your first stop. Choices are endless with a large selection of new in-stock vanities. So many sizes, colors, and tops. LED mirrors, faucets, freestanding tubs, and more. Great quality products at the guaranteed lowest price. Something for everyone. And the service at Home Outlet, they can't be beat. Find us at homeoutlet.com.
Break up with your big box store. Kitchens, baths, and floors and more. Home Outlet is your home store.
103.7 The Buzz is your home for the Hogs and your ticket hookup. We have tickets to every Diamond Hog home game and want to give them to you. Listen each weekday for your chance to win from 103.7 The Buzz.
It's not just about the size of the meat, it's about where you get it from. So get it from Hogg's Meat Market in North Little Rock. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people. L. Ellis is brought to you by Matt Black with Allstate Insurance. Matt Black with Allstate can take care of your home, auto, motorcycle, life, renters, and landlord insurance. Are you in good hands?
Let's bring him in. L. Ellis joins us now. L, tough loss against Kentucky, but I thought you guys played really hard. You got after the Wildcats there at Rupp Arena. What did you think of the game?
I thought as a team, we played really well. We just got to get some stops, and crucial possessions. It was a high-scoring game, so we really got to defend a little bit better. But I feel like we went in there, we played as a team, we got really good shots, and we played together. And with how the season's been going, I feel like that's all you can really ask for right now,
Yeah, you guys at the 8-minute mark had a nice little lead, and I thought it was because of defense. You got some steals, you got some transition points, and then they came back, and it became a one-possession game there at the end of the game, and they got a couple of stops, they got a couple of steals, and y'all couldn't get the stops or steals in. I felt like that was the whole difference in the game right there.
Yeah, most definitely.
Coach said that after the game he made the decision he wanted to run with Kentucky this time. The first time in Fayetteville when you played them, it was a slower-paced game, and, Kentucky won that one at the end too. Which style do you prefer, or which style do you think is best against Kentucky, going up and down with them or slowing it down?
I feel like they're a better team. I feel like they're a better team when they run, get out in transition, and they play really fast. I feel like we contained them way better the first time we played them. But I feel like we can play either way as well. But I feel like, in my opinion, based off like the 2 times I played them and the time I played them when I was in Louisville, like when you slow the game down, they're really not as good,
Would you like a third shot at Kentucky at the SEC tournament?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think we all would. I feel like because we were in both those games, we could have won both of them. So I feel like if we play them a third time, we'll get the win. And I feel like if we played anybody in the SEC tournament that we played more than one, that we played already early in the season, I feel like we would beat them.
What are the positives that you can take away from that loss against Kentucky?
Man, really just how much talent that we really have. Like we scored over 100 points, and I feel like that the way we're playing now, the way like guys are coming together, I feel like that's a big takeaway. It's been a lot of ups and downs this season, but I feel like as the season's been progressing, that guys have been coming together. We've been trying to win. We've been playing harder, and I feel like that's one of the biggest takeaways, honestly.
How about Caliph battle in the game he had? 3 straight games over 30 points.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, he puts the work in, like he's a scorer. And I mean, he did it like throughout his college career. So I mean, it's just been him, just getting into that rhythm, getting into that groove, and now he's in it. And he, and you can tell the way he's scoring the ball, like he's very efficient. He's not out there taking a lot of shots, he's getting to the free throw line, and that's what makes him, score the ball at such a high level. That's why he's getting 30 and 40, because he's getting 10 free throws a game. Like to be able, draw fouls like that at a high level, like that's like really it's great to do, and a lot of scorers, have that mentality, getting to the free throw line, getting easy passes, so.
Is it difficult to play in a game like Saturday when there were 40 fouls called, or is it just something as a player you adjust to?
Yeah, it is tough. I mean, because you can't really be physical. I mean, you really got to play. You got to be very, very, very disciplined. Because I mean, they were calling a lot of touch fouls. So it's just tough. It's just tough like that. So, especially with the way, we play, like, you try to be physical. We're older guys, so, like, we've been in college, so we try to be physical and stuff like that. So, really, when the foul count is like that, it's really tough to play.
I'm looking at the box score now. You're one of only, well, you're the only Razorback that played that didn't get a foul called on you. And Kentucky, which is ironic since you fouled out of the last game, and Kentucky only had one player, but he didn't play a whole lot. He was the only one besides you that didn't get a foul called on in the entire game.
Yeah, that's why I'm so surprised I fouled out in the Missouri game, because I'm usually not a guy that fouls a lot. So.
We're talking with L. Ellis. He joins us thanks to Matt Black, Allstate Insurance. L, coming up next is the LSU Tigers, a rematch with the Tigers. Your thoughts on LSU?
They're playing really well right now. They won 4 of their last 5. And I feel like they're a team that really doesn't get enough credit. They got wins over Kentucky and South Carolina. 2 of the best teams that's in our league right now. So I feel like we just got to come ready to play. They blasted us at home. So we really just got to come out ready to play, really get that, because, I feel like we're a really good team, man. We shouldn't be where we are in the standings right now. So I feel like these last 2 games, for us, like, it's very important, going to the SEC tournament, because we feel like that we can win it all, So really these last 2 games that we have, is really going to be personal, and we need them, for momentum.
Yeah, I'm looking back at that box score. 95-74 was the final score there in Baton Rouge. But, man, it's a different-looking Arkansas team. Caleb Battle only played 8 minutes in that game, did not score a point, and you didn't play at all. And now you two you're in the starting lineup and a big part of this offense and what this team is doing.
Yep. Yeah, I believe Devo Davis wasn't there neither.
Yep, you're right.
So, like, it's a totally different team right now, and I feel like, the guys that are playing right now, we've really come together, and we really want to win. A few of us is probably going to be our last time playing in college, so we're really just trying to lay it all out there and get some wins, try to, make something happen.
Yeah, and Brazil didn't play in that game either. So
yeah, Brazil too, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to see a different Razorback team this week when you take on the Tigers. I know that the goal is to win every game, but how important is it to win out, to have a good week, to build some momentum before you get to the SEC tournament?
I really feel like it's important, just to be able to, get some wins and try to win out, and just have some momentum, have some confidence going into the tournament, I mean, really for us, like, right now it's all about getting better and playing hard, because, like, when we get to the SEC tournament, like, it's all the cards on the table, like we have to, every possession will matter, so I feel like now it's just about, getting our rhythm right now, getting some confidence, because, when we get to the SEC tournament, like, if we lose, like, we're done. So, really just these last 2 games, like, we really just got to, everybody try to get their confidence, play the right way, play as a team, and that's what's going to help us get to the SEC tournament.
Can you believe Wednesday is your last game at Bud Walton Arena? That the season is almost so, and I'm guessing that's your last game. I don't, with the COVID year and the extra years, are you out of eligibility?
Yeah, that would be my last game at Bud Walton. So, I mean, it's crazy, man. Like, the season went by so fast, The same thing happened to me when I was at Louisville last year. Like, the season went by so fast, and then I honestly didn't know it was going to be my last game, in the Yum Center last year, and it was. So, like, just for things, to go by so fast, time doesn't wait for anybody. I'm going to miss, like, I had some really good experiences, but, like, that Duke game, like, I'll remember for the rest of my life, So, the Purdue game, like, so, like, it's just going to be, like, a moment, that I'm going to always remember, and I'll be thankful for, like, no matter how the season, ended. Like, I had some really good memories. I met some amazing people. I have some great teammates, great staff, so I'm thankful for what I have.
What is the feeling there with all you guys and in the locker room about this last game at Bud Walton Arena? Because there are a lot of you guys that are out of eligibility. This is it. How important is it to go out on the right note?
Yeah, like, really, that's all it's about, going out on the right note, going out there playing hard, like, that's all that matters, Because, I mean, like you said, like, a lot of us are out of eligibility, and, like, we're going to be pros after this, so, and when it gets to that point, it's strictly business. feel like this probably be like the last like time we really have a lot of fun, you know. So right now, I feel like that's gonna be the main thing, you know, going out there playing hard, you know, trying to go out the right way, honestly.
L. Ellis with us, thanks to Matt Black, Allstate Insurance. L, last week after giving up 85 points to Vanderbilt and 111 to Kentucky, I got to think the emphasis is on the defensive end of the court, trying to slow down LSU, and then, man, Alabama, they score a lot too, but I got to think that's the priority is defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. We haven't defended as well, you know, the last few games, and I think it's because our offense has been so good, you know, so I feel like we really got to, you know, buckle down as a group, you know, and really defend, you know, get stops, you know, because that's when we're really good, like when we defend. So no matter how many points we score, like we have to defend if we're going to win.
El, good luck this week. I hope it's a 2-0 week, and enjoy it and go out the right way. We appreciate your time today.
Man, I appreciate you, man.
That's L. Ellis. Thanks to Matt Black, Allstate Insurance. Razorbacks and Tigers, Wednesday at 6. A little earlier game. We've had a lot of 8 o'clock games this year, midweek games. This one will be at 6 o'clock there at Bud Walton Arena. Walk-ons, place to be. Go watch that game. Patio's open, patio season, at least this week. Nice weather. Go check it out. Enjoy some walk-ons, and we'll have the post-game show. Justin Acree will be doing the post-game show with me. Josh is going to be gone, so Acree steps in and does the post-game show. We'll have that for you probably around, I'm going to guess around 8:45 to about 9:45.
A little bit earlier this time around. But that's how the schedule goes. You have to be able to adjust throughout the season.
Yeah, it's nice to be done at 10 o'clock and be able to go home and not be
instead of starting to set up at that time.
Starting to set up and leaving walk-ons at about 11:30, 11:45 at night, trying to get home before midnight. That'll be nice. And hopefully for those guys, they can get a win in their last game at Bud Walton Arena, and who knows? Play well again like they did against Kentucky, go to Alabama. Look, Alabama's similar to Kentucky. They can score, but they don't play great defense. I think they're a little better defensively, and they shoot more threes, but very high-tempo, fast-paced game. And then it's time for the SEC tournament. Coming up in the third hour, we'll talk some more Razorback basketball. Joe Klein will join us. We'll talk some SEC basketball. Man, what a week for Tennessee. They get it done, beating Alabama, Auburn. They still got 2 tough games to go with South Carolina and Kentucky. Right now, they're number 1 seed. Number 4 in the country. Tennessee's up to number 4 in the country. We'll talk some SEC hoops with Joe Klein next. It's Out of Bounds.
If there's anything green in your yard right now, it's probably a weed, and you need to do something about it. Weed control and fertilization service from Sanders Ground Essentials is easier and less expensive than doing nothing or even trying to do it yourself. 315-9395 or go online at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
This is Trey Reed from the Wild Side on 103.7 The Buzz, inviting you to join Mark Hedrick and me Tuesday nights at 7 p.m.
Brought to you by Westrock Landing at Lake Maumelle, Edwards Food Giant, all about tire and brake, battery outfitters, and Trader Bill's Outdoors, Hot Springs, and Little Rock locations.
It's the Wild Side, Tuesday at 7 p.m., only on 103.7 The Buzz.
Hello, I'm Brett Rogers, President of Capital Technology Group. You might know us as Capital Business Machines, but our new name represents our growth as one of the state's leaders in business technology. When you've been around for 80 years like we have, you learn a thing or two about change. But what will never change is our commitment to our clients. We're still the same reliable team here to meet all your technology needs. Capital Technology Group is bigger and better than ever before. Learn more at captg.com.
Now you can watch all your favorite Buzz shows, streaming live on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter pages. 103.7 The Buzz, your multimedia fun and game station.
This is Larry Culpepper, the inventor of the college football playoff. When I'm in Arkansas, I always listen to 103.7 The Buzz. Ice cold, Dr. Pepper, hit.
Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
In Bentonville, the Northwest Arkansas Community College Spring Arts and Culture Festival will take place today, an annual event designed to encourage conversations about social issues, broaden cultural understanding, promote creativity and diversity, and celebrate the arts. This event will offer exhibits, speakers, performances, panels, workshops, and more. The festival will offer in-person, streaming, and recorded events that are free and open to the public. Monsters of Todd celebrated its 10-year anniversary over the weekend in Little Rock. This event brings thousands of people people together each year through cancer awareness and music. This started back in 2013 as a benefit concert to help Arkansas native veteran and musician Todd Mills through his cancer journey. After Todd's passing, the concert continues as a way to help other families fight cancer by decreasing their financial burdens. All of the proceeds from this year will go to Cartai's Patient Assistance Program. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra
Slim
Webb.
Chickens of Central Arkansas presents Rollin' with Nolan on Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer every Thursday at 6 on 103.7 The Buzz.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Rain chances back this week. Today, about a 30% chance of scattered showers and a high today around 80 degrees, so still quite warm. Tonight slowed down to 57. Tomorrow, those rain chances go up to 70% and a high of 72. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Join Fitz Hill, the Doctor of Football, each Thursday night at 7 for the West Rock Coffee Recruiting Intelligence Report. The Doctor of Football will keep you up to date with the latest recruiting analysis. Brought to you in part by Ortho Rehab, Express Airport Parking, Diamond Medical, Blue Train, and Authentic Manhood. Only on your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
The indoor pickleball facility at the Little Rock Athletic Club is now open. Join the Little Rock Athletic Club for 50% off March 1st through March 10th with no monthly contract. It's official. The indoor pickleball facility at the Little Rock Athletic Club is now open.
I'm Supreme Court Justice Barbara Webb, and I'm excited to announce my candidacy for the position of Chief Justice. From private practice to prosecuting attorney to justice on the Supreme Court, my over 4 decades of courtroom experience have more than prepared me for this opportunity. I'll be an experienced and prepared Chief Justice with a fresh perspective on how to tackle our biggest problems, and that's exactly what Arkansans deserve. I'll focus on reducing case backlogs, expanding public access to the court, and modernizing our current systems and processes to save time and create efficiencies. Most importantly, I will uphold the rule of law and protect our Constitution. That's what I've done my entire life, and that's what I'll do as your next Chief Justice. With your support, I will continue to be a fair and independent voice that all Arkansans can trust.
Remember, early voting begins February 20th, and Election Day is March 5th. Paid for by the Barbara Webb for Chief Justice Committee.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know Arch Marine is the kayak leader in Central Arkansas? Right now, get 20% off all feel-free kayaks. All the prices are falling on kayaks this month. Don't forget, we repair ATVs. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, and so can you.
Some people aren't easily inspired. They require a little more craftsmanship, more elegance, more excitement. Some people are inspired and see the future before it's here. They see the GV70 for its selection as a car and driver 10 best, GV80 for its soft quilted leather, reclining and heated second row seats, and for its IIHS top safety rating. What inspires you? The all-new Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury, today.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text Sizzle to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text SIZZLE to 42424. That's Sizzle to
Live from the
42424.
Hogg's Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz. Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services, serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years. They're your small to mid-sized specialist. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672.
What a weekend it was. There's so much going on with the state tournaments. You got just game after game after game at 6 different state tournaments. And then you had baseball going on. You had the Razorback basketball team, Little Rock Trojans doing well, men and women winning their final 2 games at home and getting double byes in the OVC tournament. Women a 2 seed. The men will be a 1 seed. A-State, their win streak comes to an end, but they lost to a very good Appalachian State team who will be the #1 seed and the favorite to win the tournament, the Sun Belt tournament. Saw where Caleb Fields was just named first team all Sun Belt. He was very deserving, probably the best point guard in the Sun Belt. One of the reasons why A-State had so much success, and they go in as a #4 seed in their conference tournament and get a bye, and they're sitting pretty good. May have a chance to do a little something in their state or in their conference tournament. Joe Klein joins us now from Corky's, hanging out with us. What's up, Joe?
How are you?
Man, I'm good.
Hey, Joe's a professional. Look at him adjusting everything.
No. Didn't want to have to make you come in here and do it, so I did it.
He's like, I'll get this camera right. I'm going to get the light on.
What is this thing here?
Oh, that's to make sure your lighting is good.
How do I look? Do I look
no, you look good.
It needs to be a little more powerful because that backlight is so it's harsh. I mean, with the sun out today, you got that window right behind you, so it makes it a little tougher. But it's better than it was, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For those watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, you can see Big Joe now.
We don't have any makeup for you, though.
I'm changing this chair, though. Wes did this. He wants to be higher than
me. You do have the little bitty chair.
I got the sink down chair.
See, that works for you, though. It wouldn't work for anybody else.
You're the only one that could sit in that chair. Now you're better. Yeah. Now you got to adjust your camera a little bit.
Go up a little bit?
Yeah.
Come on. There we go.
How about let's start with Tennessee. How about Tennessee to go on the road and beat Alabama, and then they first of all in the midweek game beating Auburn. I thought that was just a fantastic week for Tennessee.
Yeah, and they beat Alabama without Connect really going off. I mean, Alabama did a really good job of kind of taking him out of the game. I mean, he didn't dominate the game, and but those other guys, I mean, they're such a veteran team. I mean, you look out there and you see, I mean, I think they do the – now, again, it changes year to year, but they have done the portal this year. I think Auburn has as well. Alabama, I believe, has done a pretty good job. Auburn's really good at it, too, in that they have a core of players that have been there. I mean, again, the Alabama game the other night, you looked out there, and it was 4 guys that had been there for 4 years, and then they added a great piece and Connect. And I just think if you can do that, and you can keep guys there, and Vescovy and Ziegler and Jordan James and Adu, and then add a piece or two, I think that's the optimal way to use the portal. I think when you're bringing in 8 to 10 guys a year, as we see this year, it could hit big or it could plummet. So again, they beat Alabama really with Connect. What do you have? 13, 14 points. I mean, he didn't really go off. And, I mean, that just tells you how good they are.
Is Alabama playing better defense?
They're spurty. They play. I mean, they're at times yes and at times no. They get lost defensively a little bit. I mean, they're not near as good defensively as they were last year. I mean, last year they were, they had Betty Acco back there last year, so they just took away everything on the perimeter and just funneled you right to him.
Yeah.
I mean, and he would alter the shot or block the shot. So this year they don't have that attribute on their team, but I mean they're not awful, but I mean you can see at times where they get lost and they can get torched.
I thought Tennessee had a great week, but I thought South Carolina beating Florida, that was huge for them to improve to 12-4. Now South Carolina's got Tennessee at home for a chance to move into a first-place tie.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I mean, because there's a little payback there if you're Tennessee. They got popped at home by South Carolina earlier in the year, and which surprised everybody. That was kind of South Carolina's coming out party. It was kind of like, they got a really good record. They beat Clemson on the road or something. They lost to Clemson. Was their only really, really, really tough game, and they got beat in a close one. Clemson's very good, but they got beat at home at Clemson in a close game. So you really didn't know, and then they go to Knoxville and pop Tennessee. That was an eye opener.
Even with the season South Carolina has had, they still continue to be the least talked about team. Because even talking about the SEC, it's Tennessee, Auburn, Bama, Kentucky. So now they really have a chance to make a statement against Tennessee the second time around.
And they can win the SEC. I mean, they beat Alabama. They beat Tennessee. They have the tiebreaker head-to-head. They'll be tied. And Tennessee finishes with Kentucky.
Right.
And South Carolina finishes on the road at Mississippi State.
Yeah. So, I mean, they got 2 tough games left, but beating Tennessee would be – and then if they beat Mississippi State, and then if they can do well in the tournament, they could get a very high seed.
Yeah.
They could get a really, really, really high seed. I don't know if they can get a 1.
Probably not.
But they could get up there. They could be talked about for a 2.
What do you see from South Carolina as far as the makeup of the team?
I think they did a great job. Michie Johnson is a terrific scorer. They kept him from last year, and then they added Cooper, the point guard from South Carolina. I think he's the one who's really he and the freshman number 30. Murray Boyles. Those 2 guys have been really, really good. Boyles is coming on. He gives them he's their best athlete. He's probably the most SEC athletic person on their team. I mean, he's very, everybody else is really good players, but he's got some athleticism. He's a freshman, but he plays much older and better. But I think it's Cooper, I believe is his name, number 55, the point guard. He has been just a steady influence. I mean, he gets them in their stuff. They're very much like Wisconsin of old, where that's where Lamont Paris coached before he went to Chattanooga, and they're very high. Their tempo is slow. They're in the 300s in tempo. But I remember when I had him versus Arkansas, I remember asking him about that. I was like, "What do you think about your tempo?" And he goes, tempo is the most overrated thing that is put out there as far as a stat, in his opinion, because, and he made a point, he goes, in the last, I don't know how many years, let's say, he said 10 years, but it was a lot of years. He said there's been nobody at the top of Ken Palm that was a very high tempo team that got to the Final Four. Now he said offensive efficiency, he said those teams go to the Final Four. Defensive efficiency, those teams go to the Final Four, and they are a very high-ranked offense efficiency team. They run their stuff, and they run it, and they don't dribble, they don't pound the ball, they pass it and move and cut, and I really like watching them play. It's kind of a little bit of an old school, kind of passing game, whereas It's not ball screen all the time. They're running guys off of down screens, curls, staggers. They're doing all kinds of things, and they run it to perfection.
Is that harder to prepare for in today's game because everybody wants to get up and down the floor? They want to play like that. They see most of the teams they're playing against play up and down and fast paced. So when you do see something out of the box in a team that is at slower tempo, you think that's harder to prepare for?
Most definitely, because I think you become kind of a creature of habit. If you're playing against teams over and over again that are pick and roll, dominated teams, up and down the floor teams, then all of a sudden you see something that's totally different. It's going to throw you off. There's no question. And then I think what it also does from an offensive standpoint is that, they're going to run some clock. They're going to slow it down where you might be used to getting a shot. You might be used to getting 4 or 5 shots every minute of the game. Now all of a sudden you're getting 2. So when that ball hits certain guys' hands that hadn't touched it in a while, guess what's going to happen? Good shot, bad shot, it don't matter. It's going up.
That's a shot. Human nature.
Because they hadn't touched it in a while. And so I think it definitely helps them.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be a fun game to watch.
It is.
South Carolina and Tennessee, the midweek game. Joe Klein with us from Corky's. Let's get to Arkansas, Kentucky. I thought they played with a lot of heart, a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Just couldn't hang with them for 40 minutes.
Both teams had defense optional. I mean, it was bring your own D. Nobody was providing me. Boy, it was a BYOD, bring your own D. That defense was optional, but again, I can't fault the effort. I mean, I think Muss was spot on. They played hard. They're not a good defensive team. I mean, I said that in December. I said it might be time to look at outscoring people. This is the makeup of the team. They don't have a lot of length. I mean, size, physical strength. They've got some length, but not really at the guard positions like they've had in the past. They're a little bit smaller. They're a little better off the dribble. They can get up and down. They got some smaller, quicker, big guys that can get up and down, and so they're more geared to beat you offensively than defensively. I think in the last, since the 1st of February, they've kind of started finding their identity and kind of playing that way, and they've played better. I think having some guys hurt kind of helped that too. I think he had to go small, and I think he had to play Battle. I think he had to play Ellis, and I think those 2 guys really took advantage of that and kind of probably opened Muss's eyes a little bit, and they've taken off offensively.
It's not like he's not going to throw in the towel. We know Musselman, the competitor he is. What do you think we'll see from this team the last 2 games in the SEC tournament?
I think what you've been seeing, they're going to try to put up some points. I mean, I think now that doesn't mean he's not going to coach defense anymore, or just say we're not going to guard. He's going to keep. I mean, that's in his DNA. But I think he's going to try to go with Mark and Battle and Mitchell. That's kind of a 3-headed monster as far as scoring, and try to get those 3 guys scoring. And when those 3 guys are scoring, you're looking at a team that can get 85, 90 points, and just hopefully. You can get, they call it a kill. You can get a couple kills during the game, which is 3 stops in a row. And if you're in an up and down game, and you can, piece together 2 or 3 minutes each half where you get some breaks defensively or whatever, and can get a couple kills, then you can beat people 92 to 88 or 85-82 or whatever. But I don't see them winning. I just think that's their best hope.
They've been scoring better as of recent, but do you think it was this game specifically? You think it was more about Kentucky and their lack of defense in seeing Arkansas in the way that they were able to score? Because it's still been a problem at times.
Yeah, Kentucky's bad defensively. I mean, they're bad. I mean, we're not going to sugarcoat it. I mean, they're not a good defensive team. I mean, Mississippi State got 89 on them, and Mississippi State they don't score 89. I mean, they don't score 89. So, yeah, they're not a good defensive team. That's why I can see them getting popped in the tournament early. I mean, I just got a lot of young guys that want to get up and down, and all of a sudden those threes don't start falling, and you find yourself in a Farley Dickinson, FAU, one of those cats who, passing that bad boy around and knocking down threes, and you're playing on a neutral court that all of a sudden becomes a
they start rooting for the underdog.
Becomes a road game, and I think if Kentucky had defense, they're a Final Four team. Right now, I think they can make the second weekend, if the matchups are good, but I don't see much after that.
You like Tennessee the most out of any SEC team to make a deep run?
I do, but I like them because it's like the other night. You looked out there, Adu, he's been there 4 years or however many. He's a veteran guy. Vescovi's been there since the turn of the century. I mean, it seems like he's been there forever. I mean, good grief. I mean, Ziegler's been there forever, and he's tremendous. Josiah Jordan-James seems like he's been there as long as Vescovi. I mean, he's been there forever. Those are 4 veteran guys that are, locked in, and then Connect, you throw him in there. And, Mayshak's a heck of a player. I mean, when you look at them, they're so physically strong and big, and they can shoot it. I mean, and they'll guard you. I mean, he's going to, Barnes is going to make you guard. And a lot of times, the games get higher scoring, but a lot of times that's because of the pace of the game. But, defensively, their efficiency is very good. And again, you worry about them. I mean, it's happened a couple times this year, not like in the past, but they have a couple games. They had a game this year. I don't know who was against, but they, 60,
South Carolina?
Yeah, they got 60 points or something. I mean, it was kind of like, just every now and then it kind of, that's kind of always lingering there, but it's not as prevalent this year as it's been in the past because of Connect. I mean, even the other night when he wasn't effective because Alabama was having to double team him. They were double teaming him on the perimeter, and he's a willing passer, and they were getting the ball out and moving it around and getting wide open shots and knocking them down. So, if you're gonna go that route and crowd and take away Connect, then Tennessee's gonna play he's gonna get it out of that double team, and now you're playing against numbers with really good players, with Ziegler, Adu, James, Vescovi, Mayshak. You got guys that you're not throwing it to a freshman on the wing over there. You're throwing it to a guy who's going to drive it again, and another guy who's going to drive it again, and then take maybe the third 3 instead of the first 3.
Joe, narrow it down. Give us your top 3 teams in the conference. Top 5 may be a little easier, but it probably gets harder to narrow it down to the top 3.
I like Tennessee. I like Auburn. I think Auburn's 2, and Alabama. And then Kentucky's right behind Alabama. I think Kentucky, Alabama are.
You left out South Carolina.
I know. I mean, and that's what we were talking about. They're not. You look at them, you go, they got no players. They got no, and then they'll be in the Final Four. I mean, it's just they're right. Those 3, I think those 3 teams. Alabama, Kentucky, and South Carolina. I think you could put any of those in third place, and I think they're very interchangeable.
Mm-hmm. Joe Klein with us from Corky's. What's going on today at Corky's?
Got a buffet tonight from 5 to 7, $15.99.
Last week was the first time, right?
Yep.
How'd it go?
Went good. Like you said, we buried the lead at $2 drafts. So got $2 drafts, and it's got the 5 to 7. We got pork, chicken, sausage, potato salad, coleslaw, apple cobbler, peach cobbler. And again, that's in Little Rock only, not North Little Rock. Little Rock only. Steve Shields told me he was over there in North Little Rock today. wanting to know when the buffet was, and I said, you need to go west, young man.
He doesn't listen, does he? He doesn't listen. How many times have we said it's Little Rock only?
It's like the Oregon Trail, man. I said, you got to go west, young man. Go west. But, hopefully we'll be bringing it to the north side soon.
Great price on that, $15.99.
Yeah, no, that's like I look at our guys and I go, okay, so yeah, we're gonna make some money. I'm like, you sure?
I was just checking Bet Saracen. They do not have the lines out yet for Tuesday's games, and I just saw an early line on from another place that has Georgia 1.5 point favorite against Ole Miss.
That's at Georgia. Yeah, is that it? No, I don't think that's really, because I think that's at Ole Miss. Because I saw Georgia had their senior day the other day, I thought.
That is at Georgia. It is at Georgia,
okay.
yeah. I guess they a lot of teams are doing senior day on the weekend when parents can get there a little easier.
Okay.
But no, it is at Georgia. I don't know. I guess that's right. Georgia being at home, a small favorite. It surprised me a little bit.
Yeah,
I think Ole Miss has to win this game.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, I saw they're not even one of the last 4 outs. Teams out.
No, they lose this game. They got to win the tournament.
Georgia and A&M both have gone. I'm sorry, Ole Miss and A&M both have gone from on the bubble on the right side to off the bubble, not even on the bubble, one of the last 4 outs. So they have to win out. A&M has Mississippi State and Ole Miss. And Ole Miss has Georgia, then A&M. So that A&M Ole Miss game is almost like a de facto play-in game to get on the bubble, and then they got to do something in the SEC tournament.
Both those teams, both of those teams, the net ranking for Ole Miss and A&M has dropped so much to where even winning those games may not help them that much. I think those two teams are going to have to win 2 games in the tournament and beat a Tennessee or beat a Kentucky or do something in the tournament that kind of raises them up, because I don't think either one of those teams are in right now by any means.
Not only do they have to win,
even if they win both those games, because both their last 2 games, because they're not highly ranked. They're not gonna be quad 1 wins. They need quad 1 wins.
Yeah, they need wins over big time opponents, not just wins. They got to get quality wins. All right, we'll talk more with Joe Klein when we come back. We got to still take a look at what's trending. See the phone lines lighting up. We can take a call. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Edwards Food Giant presents Razorback Baseball color analyst and Drive Time Sports co-host Rick Schaefer every Tuesday morning on Morning Mayhem. Rick will share his special take on Razorback sports with the guys each week. Edwards Food Giant, the meat people, the only stop you'll ever have to make for your family's groceries.
This is SportsCenter.
Arkansas basketball put up a good effort on the road in Lexington on Saturday, but fell short, losing to Kentucky 111-102. With that loss, Arkansas is now below 500 at 14-15 overall. The Razorbacks have 2 games remaining in the regular season, Wednesday against LSU at home and Saturday on the road at Alabama. Woodrock capped off their regular season, beating Tennessee Tech 81-43. They'll head into the OVC tournament riding a 9-game win streak. Holding the number 1 seed, the Trojans will not play until Friday. And Arkansas State fell to Appalachian State 80-57 on Saturday. They're the 4th seed in the Sun Belt Conference tournament. They won't play again until Saturday. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network. The indoor pickleball facility at the Little Rock Athletic Club is now open. Join the Little Rock Athletic Club for 50% off March 1st through March 10th with no monthly contract. It's official. The indoor pickleball facility at the Little Rock Athletic Club is now open.
Roger, did you know that Oaklawn Sports is the mobile app that lets you bet anywhere in Arkansas?
Anywhere, so I can bet the over when I'm in Dover.
Indeed you can.
I can take the underdog in Dogtown.
Absolutely.
You're telling me I can bet on the pigskin in Piggott?
Yep.
Hoops in Humnoke, baseball in Bauxite, long shots in Lavaca?
All of the above.
Anywhere, huh?
Anywhere.
Nice.
Easy to use,
games and even easier to fund. Bet with confidence. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Clint Sterner here. Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Be sure to schedule your health assessment at Low T Center. For established patients, they offer the convenience of physician-monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatments with an average payment of $150 a month cash pay, including labs and medication. If you need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy. Shipping treatments directly to your house. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
RJ Hogg here with Chris Roberts from Southern Bank. And Chris, we've talked so much about that hometown feel and what it's like at Southern Bank. But if you're a commercial investor, they need to come talk to you.
We're involved with a lot of customers that have projects across the United States. Those projects can be some of the biggest projects you would see in your communities. So really, there's no project that's too large for us to look at.
If somebody's interested in learning more about what Southern Bank can do for their commercial investments, how do they get in touch with you?
You just pick up the phone and call me at 501-424-0900. Just love to talk to you about your project, see what you've got going on, and see how we can be a help to you.
And you talk about being a help. You really invest into your commercial investors by helping them through the process, looking at things to look out for along the way.
I like to think we can throw things off of each other, listen to different viewpoints, and come to the best decision.
If you want to learn more, go online, bankwithsouthern.com, or call Chris, 424-0900, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Do you need Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton? Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888. It really is just that easy. If you've been injured and need help, it doesn't matter where in Arkansas you are. Just dial 888-8888. We'll come to you. I'm Mike Rainwater of Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton. We have been thankfully serving Arkansans for years, and we appreciate the trust you've put in us. We work hard for you, Arkansas, each and every day. Anywhere in the state, dial 8.
Hi, I'm Todd Yacovian, your new chief meteorologist on KRK4 News, and I'm excited to start working for you. So download the Arkansas Storm Team app, stay up to date, and trust that the Arkansas Storm Team is always ready. Stay weather aware with the Arkansas Storm Team on KRK4.
There's only one place to stop for the best in meats in Central Arkansas. It's Hogg's Meat Market. Check out their monthly package deals of the best meats online at hoggsmeatmarket.com. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people. Weekend Recap, brought to you by Fleet Management Services, serving Central Arkansas for over 20 years. They're your small to mid-sized specialist. When you need someone to service your fleet and get your employees back on the road quick, call 501-375-3672.
Wes Moore, Joe Klein, Joe Franklin, hanging out on a Monday. Glad you're with us. Charles had a question. Charles is in Arkadelphia. Charles is gone. You got Arkansas LSU Wednesday night, Joe.
Yep. Yeah.
What about those Tigers? Yeah, Joe and I have been talking about the LSU Tigers a little bit because of the way their schedule ends up with Arkansas. They had Vandy, and then they played Missouri. They played the three worst teams.
No,
they got a chance to finish 10-8 in the SEC, and they're not going to sniff the NCAA tournament.
And I tell you what, if they could have beat Mississippi State at home on Saturday, or not, maybe it wasn't Saturday.
Last week, midweek.
Yeah, they would have finished 11-7.
Yeah,
and not sniffed the tournament.
Wow.
So, I mean, and that was a home game, and so I remember, I was doing the Georgia game with a guy, and I was like, they were talking about it. But I said, look at LSU's last 5. I said those are all winnable games, and I said if they win, they're 11-7 in the conference. Do they get in? I mean, 11-7 in a conference where everybody talks about it's one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
And they probably wouldn't have got in. So.
They're 4-7 in Quad 1 games. They are 1-5 in Quad 2 games with losses against Syracuse, Kansas State, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State. 4-0 in Quad 3, 7-1 against Quad 4. They had a bad loss to Nichols early in the season.
Yeah, that's huge. Those are killers. Those are killers.
Yeah, Quad 2's killed them.
You can't lose 3 and 4 Quad 3 and 4 games.
That's what's really done them in the non-conference game.
You can't. What was their Quad 3?
Quad 3, they were perfect 4-0.
Okay.
It was Quad 2, they were 1-5.
Yeah, that's a killer too. Those are
the only victory was against North Texas on a neutral site, but then they lost to Syracuse, Kansas State, A&M, Georgia, Mississippi State.
Yeah. You got to, if you're gonna go to the tournament, you got to be 4-2 or something in Quad 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't. Those will hurt you, especially if you're not dominant, which they aren't in Quad 1 games.
Arkansas, I was just wondering, they're 2-8 in Quad 1 games. They have a victory over Duke, and A&M is a Quad 1 on the road.
Yeah.
They're 1-5 in Quad 2 games, with the only one being the A&M game at home. They're 7-1 in Quad 3, 4-1 in Quad 4. That loss to Vanderbilt. Yeah, that was a terrible loss.
Yeah.
UNC Greensboro, that loss is now a Quad 3 loss. Yeah. What are your hopes? What do you want to see out of Arkansas against LSU, Alabama, and the SEC? Really, the SEC tournament. What would you like to see?
I want to see what I saw Saturday. I want to see a team that comes out firing. Obviously, you'd like them to play a little better defense. But again, this is not a lockdown team that's going to lock you down and dominate you defensively. So, I'd like to see them getting up and down and getting points and trying to win some high-scoring games. I mean, I think it's very doable. I think, again, they have 3 guys that are playing extremely confident basketball in Battle, Mark, and Mitchell. I think that offensively they're playing very, very confidently. I think L. Ellis has really stepped his game up to where he's knocking down open shots and doing some nice things offensively. And it looks like you're starting to get a little something out of Brazil.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will continue to trend in the right direction. So, that's what I would like to see. Again, I would like to see him compete and get after people offensively. Again, try to have a couple stretches each half, 2 to 3 minutes where you can maybe piece together some consecutive stops defensively and let your offense kind of build the lead and go from there.
Got a couple of things that are happening on Twitter. Let's get to that real quick.
What's trending in sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
Joe, I just saw where the Broncos have told Russell Wilson he will be released after the league year begins on March 13th. So there's a quarterback out there for somebody.
And that's going to be good for quarterback-needy teams. They'll be able to get Russell Wilson at a discount, big time.
Cheap.
One of the wide receivers that people were talking about, a potential free agent, it's not a free agent anymore.
No, I was hoping the Chiefs might have a chance to get him, but
the Buccaneers have decided they're going to re-sign and keep Mike Evans. So he's going to be
a great move for
Buccaneer.
them.
No doubt. I didn't know how much money the Chiefs would have to go get a Mike Evans.
Didn't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to. They got to pay. Well, they just franchised Snead today, and then.
They did.
Yes.
That's done.
And they still may trade him if they get the right offer.
They said they're going to franchise him, but they're listening to trade offers, and then they're going to have to try to find a way to sign Big Boy up front on defense. So, hopefully they can get him. But now he's a free agent now. I mean, he's free to talk to anybody. But hopefully they'll keep him.
I think there'll be somebody's going to make an offer. Somebody will make a run at him. He's too good. Maybe the best interior defensive lineman right now.
Yep. Yeah, they can't lose him. But, that's the damn salary cap, man. It'll bring you to your knees.
I know. Oh, and one of the Kelce's decided to retire today.
Made it official with Jason Kelce.
Yep.
He teared up during his press conference. Did you get sad when you retired?
No. Nobody wanted me.
Yeah, you were sad. Different reason.
Welcome, nobody's called, Dana.
Because you're done. Was she sad?
She was not sad. She was glad.
It was
over.
time. Yeah.
Combine is finishing up. Or is it fun? It's done?
Well, I believe they finished today. They may still have some on-field workouts today.
Got to hear from Caleb Williams, and a lot of people were, I guess, questioning or just wanted to know why he wasn't going to do the medicals for all the teams. I thought he had a great response.
Projected first pick in the NFL draft, that's got to make you feel good. Right. But you're not going to go through the medical. That's something. Let's start there. Yep. Why the decision to do that?
It was just a team, family decision. Also an understanding that not 32 teams can pick me. Obviously, 32 teams don't want me. There's people like
Kansas City.
Yeah, people like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, things like that. But 32 teams, can't get me. And so I'm just doing my medicals at the places that I go and visit because those are the teams that are finding more interest in me and possibly in the position to get me.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
He's about to be a trendsetter when it comes to that. Yeah. There are going to be so many players that follow that lead.
I heard some of the national talk guys were discussing all the interviews that these players do. And some teams, no, there's not a possible way they're going to be able to draft a guy in the top 10, top 15, but they want to interview him anyway.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they feel like they might get some information that could help them later on when they're playing this guy.
Yeah.
Just kind of pick their brain.
Like if you're Caleb Williams, you might talk to the first 4 teams.
Yeah, that's it.
But really, in reality, it's the first 2 teams. But if you're going to be gracious, talk to 4 teams. But you're not, unless Armageddon happens, so you're not going past 4.
It's one of those deals like the Chiefs go, hey, 3rd and 8, what's your favorite play? What's your favorite thing to throw?
Yeah.
Write that down in your book. Okay, he loves this play on 3rd and 8. I got to hear from Jaden Daniels, too, out of LSU.
Explain to me how you have a 10-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah, man, I take pride in not turning the ball over. As a quarterback, that's something that you got to take pride in, not turning the ball over. We don't put your team in harm's way. And when I was at ASU, that's something Coach Hearn kept preaching to me. You can do everything to just make sure it always ends in the kick. Don't turn the ball over, always ends in the kick, whether that's a punt, extra point, things like that. So always end in the kick.
And he had 2 really good wide receivers.
Yeah.
Really good.
Brian Thomas blew up. He had a great combine.
Yeah.
His draft value went up.
Some people say he's arguably up there with old boy from Ohio State, Harrison.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think Washington's Oduzze. Yeah.
They said Michael Penix tore it up at the combine too, the quarterback.
And,
those are the guys that it helped when the top 3 projected quarterbacks don't throw, and then that next wave, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, those are the guys that it helps being at the combine and throwing.
Let's move down the quarterback list. Drake May.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you don't want to give the defense, too much going into it because, hey, they may not be prepared for it, and then I can run for some first downs, on my first year or my first game playing. So, it's one of those things I know that I have in my bag, and it's just you're ready to use it, and it's ready whenever. It's ready to go.
Well, as Pat mentions, the athleticism, some have compared you to Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Do you think that's fair?
Shoot, I got to know Josh, at the Masters last year, big fan of his game. Every Sunday, it's fun turning him on and watching him. So I think it's an honor to be compared to a guy like that and, trying to get there and pretty close. I think he's a little bit heavier than me, but I'm around 230, so I think I can, put on and play on that size.
Yeah, he does have underrated athletic ability because when they try to compare him to I'm like, no, that's a bad comparison. There's no way. Is he that athletic?
He's pretty athletic, but most quarterbacks are. That's the way that they play the game now. They develop them like that from a young age.
And one more quarterback, the Michigan quarterback.
So over your time at Michigan, how much do you feel like you were able to take from Coach Harbaugh, from him being able to come from the NFL and having that NFL experience, and you being able to be the starting quarterback under Coach Harbaugh?
just so much wisdom getting passed down, stuff you never thought about, just like little things that you would think is elementary, but it pays off in a big way. That's one of the biggest things I appreciate about him is his teaching is very simplified and it's easy to understand and it's very profound in a deep way. So just all the little nitbits about, how to be a pro quarterback, how to handle the media, how to handle situations that are, mostly off the field because that's inevitably going to affect you on the field. So it's been, a true blessing to be able to learn from him this last 3 years.
Have there been a little behind-the-scenes dealing, maybe get him to trade Justin Herbert, draft J.J. McCarthy, go in a different direction, something like that?
Nothing like that. Justin's a great guy.
Don't see that one happening.
No.
All right. Let's take a phone call real quick. Brent's in Searcy. What's up, Brent?
Not much. How are you, Joe? Joe and Wes?
Good. Doing good.
I just wanted to ask you guys, do y'all realize how awful, except in softball and baseball, that this year has been and track for Razorback sports?
Yeah, I talk about it every single day. Yeah, thanks.
Two main. Yeah,
I mean, our women's basketball team, at least our guys are playing hard with getting after it every day. They lost by about a combined total of 80 points the last two games. Something has to be done with that program. That's all I have to say about that. Definite leadership needs to change. We've seen Mike Neighbors as a coach. Things need to get better.
Thank you, Brent.
Yeah, I watched some of that second half of that Ole Miss game. That was tough.
I didn't watch any of it.
No, you were lucky.
Yeah, there wasn't any part of that I wanted. I saw the score and I was like, "That's enough for me."
Yeah, we knew what South Carolina was going to be, so that's without mentioning.
I threw that one away. South Carolina's.
But no, that Ole Miss getting beat like that, that was tough.
But Ole Miss has
good.
one of their better teams.
They're good.
Yeah,
but they're not. They're not
40 points better.
They're not W up good.
No, not that good. We'll take a break, a last break. We'll wrap it up when we come back. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
MMA fans, this Saturday night, it's UFC 299. The main event, Sugar Shane O'Malley looks to keep his championship belt against Marlon Vera. And the action gets started with the undercard fights featuring Dustin Poirier, Kevin Holland, Gilbert Burns, Peter Yan in the UFC debut of Michael Venom Page. UFC 299 this Saturday night at 9 p.m. at both locations, downtown and north. Stick around after the fights because the party doesn't stop until 2 a.m. Brewskis, you home for lunch, happy hour and late night. Hit us up online, brewskispubandgrub.com.
Well, we are starting to make that move into warmer weather, and it's about time for you to get out and move again. Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk here for QC Kinetics. Do you have joint pain? Is your back hurting? Are your knees hurting? What about those shoulders? I know baseball and softball season are starting to kick up, and you want to be able to throw the ball with your kid, but that pain is bothering you right now. You need to get over and see my friends over at QC Kinetics for a free consultation. They are the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, and what I'm talking about is you can get lasting joint pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Pro athletes have been doing this for decades, but now this life-changing treatment is available for you. No pain pills, no risky surgery. This is an all-natural solution. Oh, and by the way, it's a great use of your tax refund check. Call QC Connects for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. During the height of the Cold War, President John F. Kennedy visited the beleaguered city of Berlin. With the city and Germany itself divided by communism, Kennedy pointed out the stark differences between the free world and the communist world by saying, "Let them come to Berlin." To those who saw communism as a wave of the future, let them come to Berlin. Freedom has many difficulties, and democracy is not perfect. But we have never had to put up a wall to keep our people in, to prevent them from leaving us. The backbone of America has always been small businesses like Doublebee's. We're in 34 locations across the great state of Arkansas. We serve our local communities because we live in our local communities. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Calling all basketball fans, our season is here. We know that this time of year, traveling fouls can happen anywhere and anytime. That's why All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros is the MVP of tire service and savings. Our expert, certified technicians are the community's #1 trusted choice for any tire or service need, with the goal of making sure you're not stuck on the bench. Visit in stores in Mapleville or Little Rock, online at allabouttireandbrake.com. Tire Pros, love the drive.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter agent Matt Warden in Little Rock, Seth Hobbs in Bryant, or Nick Gennardi in Sherwood.
Justin Akery here, and I can tell you, I know a few things about radio, and I can probably talk you through a football game, but I really don't know anything about much of anything else. CertaPro Painters does, though, and that's the company I always use when I need a project done at my house. I've used them for over a decade for a number of different projects, inside and outside, and I don't care if you're a painting expert, CertaPro is here to help and make the process as awesome as it can be for you. So get CertaPro on your project soon. You can schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. When it comes to painting, do what I do. Trust CertaPro.
Make it the event that everyone wants to attend by getting your meat for tailgates, parties, or just family get-togethers at Hogg's Meat Market. Hogg's Meat Market, the steak people.
Somebody hand me a cigarette. I know I ain't had one in over a week. Somebody pour me a double shot.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. We wrap it up. Joe Klein, Joe Franklin. Ray Tucker's hanging out, about to get ready for Drive Time Sports. Ray's got a big smile on his face, and why wouldn't he? He gets to talk about the Little Rock Trojans all the time.
Darn right.
How about that #1 seed for the Little Rock Trojans?
You know what? It's pretty amazing. I've got some stats here that I've written down. I won't use them Drive Time, but I'll go ahead and use them. You know, on January 25th, we beat Southern Indiana. We being Little Rock. We were 9-10 overall and 3-3 in the Ohio Valley Conference. They now stand at 20-11, 14-4 in conference play, by virtue of having beaten Morehead State, and we only played them once this year. That really helped out. So you got 1 point. We beat them 69-68. That 1 point,
wow,
made us the #1 seed because we split with Tennessee Martin.
And now with the #1 seed, you get a double bye. You're in the semifinals already, so you're 1 win away from playing in the title and 2 wins away from the NCAA tournament.
Well, Darryl Walker can tell you we play them one at a time.
One at a time.
That's his motto. Who's the 2 seed? 2 seed would be Morehead State.
They're Morehead.
Yeah.
So Tennessee Martin's on our side of the bracket.
No. I thought it was the other way. I thought Tennessee was the 2 and Morehead was the 3.
Let me look.
They play each other anyway. Those two will play each other in semifinals, where Arkansas or Little Rock would play the 4 seed, which I think is Western Illinois, maybe. Does that sound right, Ray? I'm pulling this off the top of my head.
I got it on my phone here. So
but Little Rock's got the better route to the finals.
Yeah,
obviously.
we play on Friday like at 7 o'clock, and whoever we're going to, if we win, we play the next. It plays at 9:30.
Yeah,
and that's huge. You know that, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Then turn around.
Have those legs, man.
Yeah, remember that year? I think it was our last year when we lost to 4 overtimes to Arkansas State down there in New Orleans.
Oh yeah,
and you could just see we were having to play. I think Georgia State or somebody, but you could just see their coach over there smiling every time that game went into another overtime. I mean, it was just like whoever won that game, and because it was, I think, like an earlier game that next day, and so big advantage.
You know, the wildest one I think I ever did was we lost in 6 overtimes to Florida International. I don't know if you remember that game or not.
I don't think I was.
Sergio was the coach for Florida International.
I wasn't.
And they hit a shot, and he thought it was a 3, and that they lost by 1, and he comes down to shake Coach Shields' hands. Coach said, "What are you doing?" He said, "The game's not over. It's tied."
He was a character now.
Oh, he was a character.
And Coach Foley over there, they got the 2 seed.
Yeah.
Same thing. They're in the semifinals. And I didn't realize the team that got the 1 seed, they're in transition. So even if they win the tournament, they can't go the NCAA tournament.
That means Southern Indiana.
Southern Indiana.
And they're really good.
And
they've got 1 loss in conference play,
yeah.
I think.
So if Little Rock wins their semifinal game and Southern Indiana wins their semifinal game, it won't matter. Little Rock will go to the NCAA tournament. How about that?
That's the stupidest rule.
We have the 4th longest win streak in the country right now.
The men?
Yep.
Yeah, 11 of the last 12.
9 games.
9 in a row, 11 of 12.
And our freshman forward, Jalen Crocker Johnson, just got freshman of the week for the 9th time this season.
So he'll be freshman of the year.
Oh, haven't you?
And newcomer of the year.
Well, you know,
freshman of the year, newcomer of the year.
He won't be newcomer of the year. The Minix kid is really, really good. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Connect at Tennessee. I mean, he can shoot it from anywhere.
I love the Thursday night game when Jefferson went off, had over
JJ had 20
points, and he hasn't been much of a scorer, and he hasn't really needed to score that much this year.
You know, the good thing about Daryl's team is anybody can jump up and bite you on any night.
Kid I like, Douglas.
Oh, yeah.
He's a pit bull.
He's a character now. I'll tell you what, he and Daryl have butted heads a number of times this year. Got off to a horrible start shooting the rock the first 5 or 6 games.
Right.
Couldn't throw it in the ocean, nor could KK. And next thing you know, they click. Mitchell's made a huge difference. I think I saw a graphic the other night since he's been playing full time and not hurt. I think they're 11-3 with him in the lineup. And he and Douglas come off the bench, so you're getting 20, 25 points coming off the bench. And the Trojans have been dominating in the paint, just outscoring the other team by 20, 25 in the paint the last couple of games.
You guys leave tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to leave tomorrow. I think we're heading up to Union City, Tennessee. Make it an easy trip instead of about a 7 or 8 hour trip, and break it in half.
A lot of optimism surrounding the Trojans.
Should be. Good team, man.
Yeah.
He's got them playing some D, man.
And the crowd's picked up. I saw over 4,000 for Saturday, over 3,000 for the Thursday night game on TV. So that was good to see.
Yep.
Now finish up and win this thing.
11 times we've held our opponent here down the stretch. 11 times held our opponents under 67 points.
That's winning basketball right there.
Yeah. Joe's all about defense, too.
Defense wins, man.
Yeah.
Defense travels.
Daryl had some shirts printed up a couple of years ago. That defense travels. That defense didn't, but this one
does.
Yeah.
Well, this defense didn't travel till about January 1st.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Joe, thank you. Head to Corky's tonight. Get that buffet in Little Rock.
Give us a call, man. Catering, delivery, whatever you need. We got you covered.
Great show today. Stick around.
Just my luck. I don't get to with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors till 9 o'clock.
Drive Time Sports is next.